Hello, I'm Blake Ress, Commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Today I'd like to tell you about a friend to the more than 160,000 student athletes in the state of Indiana, Farm Bureau Insurance. In their own low-key way, Farm Bureau Insurance has played a key role in the success of high school athletic programs throughout the state. Since joining the IHSAA as its exclusive corporate partner in 1988, Farm Bureau Insurance has contributed more than $3 million in support of high school student athletes. On behalf of all the member schools of the IHSAA, we would like to take this opportunity to thank Farm Bureau Insurance for its support of our young people.
We're getting set here for the Winchester Golden Falcons and the Tigers of Northwestern Tigers. And this game, I think, has some similarities to the other game. Maybe a little high scoring, more high scoring. Winchester averaging 67 points a game, and Northwestern 69.5 points a game. So maybe we'll see a few more points. Let's go over and get a comment from the Winchester head coach once again.
I'm here with Coach Chip Mahaffey. And Coach, how your players look so far?
Well, I haven't watched them during warm-ups. It's kind of a ritual. I don't pay attention to our kids then, but I think they're ready to play the way we act in the locker room.
What did you say to them before the game?
Well, there's three things we talk about before every game. The first one is we think we've worked harder than anybody in the state this year. Secondly, we want to go out and be on the attack. And third, go out and have fun.
And Coach, that's the most important thing. Are these kids having fun this year?
Oh, they've had a great season. They love each other to pieces. It's a group that really and truly cares about each other, and I'm looking forward to watching them go out and compete today.
Real quick, what do you see this game as?
Should be a really quick tempo, I would think. Both teams are two of the highest scoring teams in the state, and have some good shooters and ball handlers. It's going to be an exciting game for the fans, I believe.
Excellent, Baker. We're going to light up Conseco Fieldhouse today.
I had a chance on Monday to chat briefly with Chip Mahaffey, and he's quite a guy. And I saw their team play Providence last Saturday down at Southport Fieldhouse. Very well coached, very well disciplined, just a really good ball club. Haven't had a chance to see Northwestern yet, but from what we understand, they're pretty darned outstanding ball club likewise. So both clubs on the floor going through the warm-up process. So we'll take a break and come back. Well, the long, terrific day of high school basketball continues as we join you now live from Conseco Fieldhouse for the Class 2A championship game twixt the Tigers of Northwestern and the Golden Falcons of Winchester High School. Jerry Baker and John Laskowski with you. Happy to be here. Laz, we started out our telecast today talking about two small schools, and they're getting to take center stage, if you will. They were in attendance in the 200s. These two schools are like in the 500s, so it's still a thrill for them to make this appearance at this particular facility.
Oh, absolutely. You know, a lot of these teams will play up. They'll play 3A teams, so they'll play against bigger schools. It's not like they don't do that, and they usually have good records when they do.
And I thought it was interesting. They did get a chance to practice in here earlier in the week. In fact, you were at the practice sessions, and I always love it when the young men or women come in and the first thing they do when they walk through the entryway is go, whoa. And I think that's a great feeling.
Well, they've seen it on TV, and they don't know what it's like when they're actually here. This place is really a lot bigger
really
than it looks on TV.
Let's show you the tournament trail and show you how these teams got here. First off, the Northwestern Tigers at 24-2. They won the Taylor Sectional, the Blackford Regional, Warsaw Semi-State, and as they did it in big fashion, they won by an average of 23 points per game. They beat Fairfield last Saturday 72-59. As far as the key player is concerned, it's kind of hard to pick them out. They got a guy number 34, Xavier Sanders, who is a 6'6" junior, averaging 15.5 points and 10.5 rebounds. He's going to kind of be their key. There he is right there.
They play an inside-outside game, and he's their inside player, 15.5 points. Look at a double-double. He's got 10 rebounds. And they're on a 14-game winning streak. Xavier, a big part of that. So Winchester, a smaller team, is going to have to match up somehow against Xavier Sanders.
Now let's take a look at the Golden Falcons of Winchester. They come in at 22-4, roll through the Hagerstown sectional, the Alexandria regional, Southport semi-state, and I tell you, the game that last you and I were there is one of the finest high school basketball games I've ever seen. They beat number 3 Providence 60-53 in overtime. They average win 18.4. But that game last week that we saw prior to our telecast was really something special, and this is one of the reasons why. This young man, Tyler Cook, number 34.
Yes, just a sophomore, averaging 20 points a game already. He's 6'2" when the season began. He's 6'4" now, so he's grown 2 inches in the time of the season's taken.
Well, the teams are coached by Winchester, Chip Mahaffey, and Northwestern by Jim Gish. The lights have gone out here in the arena. Let's get set for the intros. We'll tip off. 2A championship is coming up next here on the ICN. We return to Conseco Fieldhouse, getting set for the title game at Class 2A, Northwestern and Winchester. John, let's take a look. What are the keys to the game for Northwestern?
Well, for Northwestern, they've got to stop Tyler Cook. He's a sophomore, 6'4", but averages over 20 points a ball game. And they've got to watch their turnovers. Winchester will full court press most of the ball game. You've got to take control of the ball.
Northwestern ranked number 2 in the state. Winchester's number 9. How about those guys?
Well, Northwestern plays an inside-outside game. Xavier Sanders is the inside force. Josh Maggart is the outside force. They got to stop those 2 players, and they must score off their press. They got to create turnovers to get easy baskets.
It is the IHSAA Class 2A state championship. Northwestern 24-2, Winchester 22-4. Coming up next. All right, Bacon Laz back with you. Todd Mello will cover the sidelines for us. Here's the starting lineup. First off for the Northwestern Ball Club. That starting lineup averages 58.5 points and over 24 rebounds. Senior laden lineup with 3 of them in there for Northwestern. We'll get to the Winchester starting lineup. We have an opportunity for you. Northwestern in the deep purple uniforms. Northwestern will go to defense to start the game as Winchester has the basketball, and already, Laz, that pressure defense forces a turnover on 24, Andrew Haney.
Very aggressive defense there, double team out of the 10-second line, and causes the first turnover of the game.
We'll get to a Winchester starting lineup in a moment here, but man, if that's any indication, they're going to come right at you, Northwestern is in this game.
There's Maggart, number 3, the outside force for Northwestern.
4 shot, rattles around off the mark. Rebound comes off to Winchester. And it was Sanders that took the shot. Here's the long range 3 right in front of us here and bottoms out. Thad Laudenbacher.
He makes 38% of his 3-point shots. Not afraid to take them. He's taking 122 on the year.
And the answer at the other end of the former Mark Alexander. So just like that, we're tied at 6.
I think we're going to see a wild game, Jerry.
Try it at 3. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Look at this half-court trap by Northwestern. They like to use that to commit the steals. Winchester runs up and down the floor, fast break, full court press all the time.
Another wide open look on the wing on the near side by Laudenbacher, and he may have injured his ankle that time. Kind of came limping out of there. And the ball is going to be in the hands of, I believe, Winchester. Game just getting underway at a really fast pace. A 3-pointer by Thad Laudenbacher, a 5'10 senior. And then by Mark Alexander for Northwestern, a 6'1 senior. He's tied the ball game at 3.
Tyler Cook is number 34 for Winchester. He's 6'4", averaging over 20 points a game. There he is with the ball for the first time.
Nice move to the hoop that time.
Found that baseline, went all the way to the basket.
Tyler, 20.6 per game, as Laz mentioned. Boy, at the other end, they'll try the 3 again. And a foul coming in from behind. And they're going to pick up one of the Northwestern players. I believe they'll get Alexander. We'll hold on for that. Nope, it's not going to be Alexander. It's going to be Cameron Richardson.
Although Sanders is the biggest player on the floor starting, he's 6'6". There's the Winchester starting lineup. You can see a young team. Cook and Haney, both sophomores who start, and Maggart, who even spelled different, no relation to the Josh Maggart from the Northwestern teams. But a very interesting style that Coach Chip Mahaffey uses. Full court press, fast break, a lot of action. He substitutes every 2 or 3 minutes, and he'll bring 7, 8, 9 players will play in the game, always keeping guys fresh. He's trying to wear down the opponent. So when that game last week went to 2 overtimes, he really felt it was an advantage because the other team would be worn out.
That foul there was on Richardson, as was the previous one. So very quickly in the first minute and a half, minute 49 seconds, Richardson, one of the starters, 6'2 seniors, in foul trouble with 2 very, very quickly. At the free throw line, Tyler Cook misses the first free throw. He'll get 2, fouled in the act.
Cook's an offensive force, 45% from the field. He's shot 129 three-point shots too, so he'll take the shots from the outside, making 40% of those.
So he has 3, Loudenbacher has 3, and the score is 6-3 in favor of the Falcons of Winchester High School.
And
that
here's
their big lead.
And look at this substitution. 3 players off the bench for Winchester now. They'll all come in at the same time.
Good crowd on hand from both of these schools. Winchester on the far eastern edge of the state. There's the ball knocked away, and as Laz points out, here comes Brock Ward. I see Lucas Wickersham. Who else? Brock Morrison coming into the lineup now. Going to keep us busy, Laz, just keeping track of who's on the floor.
Well, he keeps Cook in there, his best player. And here's the trap. He's got new players in the floor. You trap right away.
And they got the layup, and he missed it. Josh Maggart had a gimme that time, and it wouldn't fall.
And Maggart's their big player on the outside. Very quick, heady player.
Well, that skip pass is very effective. A wide open look, deep left wing. Brock Morrison, one of the guys who just came off the bench.
Didn't take him long to get warmed up. But you see the style Winchester plays. They shoot fast, they run and gun, they press. It's a tough team to stay with.
And we'll get a timeout. 6-point lead right now at 9-3. The Golden Falcons of Winchester over Northwestern. Well, I guess he will not get a timeout. I thought they'd indicated a timeout, but not. Another substitution coming in for Winchester. Loudenbacher coming back into the lineup. Mark Alexander.
It's a turnover by Northwestern, so Winchester gets the ball. Cook does come out for a short time right here.
And we'll see how Winchester handles their offense. They average 67 a game. They like to get and go. And here's a foul being called against Northwestern. And I pointed out earlier, Northwestern averages 69.5. So you expect a high-scoring game. Will you get it? You never know. But that's what you're looking for right now.
Well, just the opposite we saw in that 1A game, Jerry, where both teams only give up 41 points a game. This should be an up and down the floor, high-scoring affair.
Kyle Beachy with his first personal foul. And he got it inside of the big guy.
Clayton Briggs, 6'3", plays on the low post. Did the job there, just took it up strong.
Briggs, a junior, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall. We played 3 minutes in this first quarter, and it's 11-3 already in favor of Winchester. But they got a baseline move that time, and a strong move from Cameron Richardson getting his first 2 points.
Josh Maggart trying some full court pressure just by himself, and he had Brock Ward a little on his heels, but he finally committed the foul.
There's a terrific amount of old gold, black and white sitting right behind that Winchester cheering section over there. Last, I found it fascinating last week at Southport Fieldhouse. I'm not sure of the capacity down there. I'd have to check with them, but that thing was, there was nowhere to go, was there?
When this game went to 2 overtimes last week, it was quite the ball game.
It was a terrific crowd, great facility, and the hospitality down there. But the folks at Southport was tremendous. We appreciate them allowing us to come in there.
Winchester beat a good Providence team down there. Providence, of course, near New Albany.
In the white uniforms, that's Winchester. Great defense in your face by Northwestern. I mean, they really come at you. Wide open look on the wing, but no shot by Brock Ward. They'll get it inside. The shot is missed from directly underneath the hoop by Briggs, and a whistle.
Northwestern showing some good height inside. Blocked a couple shots there, but they do get called for the foul.
Mark Alexander's first. We got 4 subs coming in.
Look at how Briggs fought for that ball to get his rebound, and then from over the top, there's the foul.
So here's Clayton Briggs at the free throw line. He averages only 5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds.
He's a low post player, and so in a fast break style, here's 3 more subs coming in. You know, they're not going to post him up and go down to him a lot. He's going to get a few rebounds, get a few quick points. He's been quite active so far early.
It must be tough on the other end trying to defend the team because it changes every 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, yeah, if you're playing man-to-man, you got to make sure you know who your guy is.
4:14 to go in the first quarter. It's been a hectic pace here. Winchester comes in with only 4 losses. They're 22-4. And those losses, 3 of the 4, came early on in the season. And they lost only 1 after the first of the year. That was to Jay County, 51-47. Otherwise, their average loss margin is only 4.5 per.
Kyle Beachy hits that shot on the baseline.
Beachy's first couple of points. Now full court pressure and a timeout, 32nd timeout. It's going to be taken by Winchester with 3:58 to go here in the first quarter of this game. A hectic pace turning in by both squads. There's a good look in the Winchester section.
That's Chip Mahaffey, the Winchester coach. I got to talk to him earlier this week. He's not afraid to go to some experienced coaches to get some advice. George Griffith, the former Richmond coach who won a state championship, has spent a lot of time. It's his mentor. And Bill Harrell, the former Muncie Central coach, has spent a lot of time with Chip Mahaffey. And so he garnered some great information from these 2 great Indiana high school coaches and uses that for his ball club now.
You think those guys might know how to win championships?
Both those guys do. You're right there.
Bill's no longer with us. I really enjoyed him. And, of course, George is just an amazing guy likewise. I guarantee he's here somewhere. Well, they break the press. Got a little pop 14-footer right straight on out front by Tyler Cook.
Good play by Cook that time. It was 2-on-1, but when the defense stayed low under the basket, he just pulled up from 12 feet.
That gets them back to the 8-point lead that's been their biggest margin so far. We head toward the 3.5-minute mark. The pulled-up 3 from long range is no good. The rebound inside almost grabbed by Tasso, but taken out of there instead by Winchester. There's some bumping and pushing and shoving. No place for the faint of heart in there. They'll bring it back out, let Andrew Haney, only a sophomore, kind of run the ship, if you will, from long range. Pick set over there by Stover. Driving layup is up and good. And a foul.
Good move by Cook. You know, he got that ball behind the 3-point line. He's not afraid to take that shot, so you got to guard him out that far. And then he takes those 2 quick dribbles to the baseline and able to finish. So watch him now. Here he comes in. The help comes over a little late at 6'4". He goes up there strong, a chance for a 3-point play.
As Beachy's second personal foul. Goff will go to the line looking for the 3-point play.
He gets 15 shots a game, so he is their big threat to score a lot of points. Scores a size 15 shoe.
Woo! I've got a timeout on the floor with 3:11 to go in the opening quarter. 18-7 already in favor of Winchester in the 2A game. Back down at Conseco Fieldhouse, 18-7. Laz, at the very outset, the opening tip of the game, Northwestern got right in the face of Winchester, and it appeared to me they were going to try to dominate it defensively. Now they're down 18-7.
Yeah, Winchester just came out kind of like a prize fighter, comes down that first round, boom, 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 and they have really set the tempo of this game, up pace. They love to play this style. They've made several substitutions already and are in control now, 18-7.
Northwestern with a basketball. Those purple uniforms.
Half-court trap now by Winchester. First time we've seen that.
Well, a good defensive play down at the end down there by Tyler Cook. Just shut off that sideline, pushed him right down in the corner. And a foul. So it's going to be on Clayton Briggs. If so, it's number 1. Let's go to Todd Mello.
Thanks, Bake. I was talking in the huddle with Coach Gish, and he was talking to his team about setting screens and doing a better job of ball movement. So let's see how they do.
You're right, exactly, Todd. Winchester's not been setting their offense. They haven't got the ball inside to Sanders, who's their big inside threat at 15 points a ball game.
Once again, not very many offensive boards. It's just not there. Nice move from coast to coast, but still to no avail. Now going to get a reach-in foul. Nope, traveling violation. And last foul, by the way, was on Loudenbacher, number 20, his first of the game.
Winchester's getting in a little foul trouble now. 3 players already with 2 fouls. Cook took that coast to coast, Didn't finish very strong, though, trying to avoid that charge, and then came up short with his running shot.
And if we missed what Laz pointed out earlier, Winchester, it's just like a whirling dervish over there. As soon as you sit down, you better not get too comfortable because you're going to be back on the lineup. They really do a lot of player exchanges.
Beck, the toughest job in today's ball game is the stat guy over there keeps track of how many minutes each guy's played, because how do you do 20 seconds or 30 seconds? It's going to add up to more minutes that are in the game. I'll tell you that right now.
That's a good point. That's a good point. They got a good crew over. They got the Pacers stat crew over there working right now for the most part. Here's the putback again. He got it this time. Nice effort, second effort by Lucas Wickersham. At the other end, an offensive foul.
See, I think that ball just went out of bounds.
Did it go out of bounds?
Sanders missed control of that ball out of bounds to Winchester. Look at the last basket. A good job by Wickersham. He's only 5'11", but that fake shot got him enough position where he could go up and score. Now, Northwestern in a full court press. They got to do something to get back in this game.
You're right, Lance. It was just a lost out of bounds. The way they're banging each other down, you can almost call a foul on every play. Nice save right at the midcourt stripe by Tyler Cook. Then they turn the ball over. That's the fourth turnover. Here's the layup at the other end. That's a good effort that time from Cameron Tasso. He gets his first 2 points of the game, and it's with 1:55 to go here in the first quarter with 20-9 game.
Well, Northwestern's trying to find a way to score some points, and the fast break seems to be their best option now. Their half-court offense isn't working.
So the lead is 11, 20-9. They lob the ball in and get it across the timeline with Cook in command. Stops out front, about a 5 or 6 footer, knocks it away. Ball chased down to the corner, and a nice play, nice hustle down there by Lucas Wickersham. And he stepped across the timeline, but he got it back out to Brock Ward. It was close, but he did step on the line. Just another turnover. That's number 4 against Winchester.
All right, let's see it there. There's the play out to Ward. Right there, you see his back heel steps on the line.
Yep, good call by the officiating crew. Mike Wisnor from Crown Point, Tom Walters from Indianapolis, and Kirk Robinson, who's from Akron, Indiana. Loose ball ripped out of there by Cook. He'll stop again from about 6 or 8 feet. Miss it again. Having some trouble straight on. And then may have fouled it out with a personal foul.
Well, he made his first one that way, but the last 2 he stopped where he should. It's only about a 6-8 foot shot, but he's come up short on both of them. There's a frustration foul. He picks up his first.
So Northwestern, a school of some 591 students against Winchester. Attendance 482. And again, the substitution rotation continues. Cook is out, started 3 for 3 and has gone 0 for 4 since then from the field.
This is Maggard. He likes to control the ball at the point, but he hasn't been able to get in that lane and score yet.
Well, you talk about a scrum, and that's what we got. We got a timeout called by Winchester, who apparently had control of the basketball.
Boy, that was close. Chip Mahaffey off that bench, and as soon as he saw his player with 2 hands on the ball, called that timeout to get a possession.
30-second timeout. Well, just to reset things, Winchester has had the lead as high as 13. They've got it at 20-9 right now, getting good play from Tyler Cook, who has 8 points already. They've hit 2 3-point field goals in the game. Only 4 players have scored for Northwestern, led by Mark Alexander, who had an early 3-pointer for his only points in the contest.
Well, to show you the job Mahaffey's done this year. Last year, this team was 11-10. They lost in the sectional, so nothing really to brag about there. But he had some players come back. Cook's really emerged as a great player, the leading scorer, and he's got him in the state championship game right now.
They not only lost in the sectional last, they were clobbered by Centerville 75-49 the end of the season, unranked. They were unranked to begin the season, as you might expect, but they finished number 9 in the AP poll this year. So we got a couple of teams going strong at each other. The Northwestern Tigers were number 2 final poll after starting the preseason, ranked number 7. Traveling violation. They got it to the big guy, Brock Morrison, right at the free throw line, and that's the 5th turnover now for Winchester.
Well, they got to watch their turnovers. I thought it was Northwestern to be turning that ball over with the press, but it's been Winchester now with 5 early turnovers, first quarter.
Northwestern now kind of settling into a little less hectic pace, although they've really been going at each other. And a reach-in foul out high, long way from the hoop on 44, Brock Morrison.
Well, they want to put the pressure on, but boy, you can't make fouls that far away from the basket.
That's the first on Morrison in this game. It's the third team foul against the Winchester Falcons here in this first quarter, which is down to 40 seconds to play. See how patient Northwestern might be in trying to get this shot. This is the guy I think they got to get the ball to, lads. They've just got to get it into Sanders' hands.
Yeah, he's 6'6". Just show when he gets the ball in the block, he can score.
Wide open look from the far side by Morrison, and he knocks it down. He's had 2 field goals. They've both been triples, and it's now 23-11 with the final 15 seconds of the first quarter getting ready to tick off. Come down the right side to Sanders, only a junior at 6'6". He's not been much of a factor offensively. They've got Andy Stover kind of chasing him down along that baseline. Penetration inside, shot off the mark, rebound put right back up at the buzzer, and it would have counted had it gone, but it did not. So after one in the 2A championship game here at Conseco Fieldhouse, it is Northwestern trailing the Falcons of Winchester 23-11. 8 minutes gone of the 2A championship game, 23-11. Winchester over Northwestern. One tie that was back at 6. We've had no lead changes in the game. Northwestern has never led. Winchester's biggest lead was 13 at 20-7. There's Chip Mahaffey.
He played at Cambridge City High School that graduated in '84. His high school coach was Howard Renner. He coached at Cathedral Connorsville, but Howard Renner played basketball at Army. In the late 60s, his coach was Bob Knight. And so when Chip Mahaffey was a high school player, Howard would bring him down to IU to watch the Indiana's practices. So obviously he's picked some of his defense up from watching those Indiana practices. How about that, the connection to Indiana basketball?
It's amazing. Long range three. They left him wide open outside. They just kind of dared Sanders to take the shot, and he did.
Yeah, Northwestern's starting to get the feel now of this ball game, and they got to be led by Sanders.
Layup at the other end.
That was Cook. It didn't look real pretty, but he got the job down. This young man's going to have quite a future, just a sophomore.
And a holding foul being called against Northwestern. And let's swing across the court once again to Todd Mello.
I was in the huddle with Coach Gish, and he was pleading with his team, calm down, settle down, relax. You guys are way too anxious, and he wants them to drive to the hole.
Yeah, good point there. They're not hitting well from the outside yet. They got to drive to the basket, create some foul situations. They probably want this game to slow down a little bit. They're not used to playing this fast pace that Winchester does. So there's Jim Gish. He's got to get this team to slow down. Guys, we've come a long way. Only lost 2 games this year. But we got to play our style.
Sanders commits the personal foul. That's his first, 7th against the team.
Maggard's got to get on track. He's the point guard, a very valuable player to have. He's got to make sure he leads this team. Mark Alexander hits that 3 from the outside. Wow.
Alexander getting his 2nd field goal. They have both been of the 3-point variety. That gives him 59 on the year. And a turnover at the other end. And Northwestern's pressure now is starting to have an impact. That's 6 turnovers against Winchester.
No, Briggs had position, but just couldn't get it. Watch this 3-point shot. Maggard just passes, then a slight screen there, and Alexander does the rest.
Well, the ball was thrown away by Josh Maggard. One official indicated that it had been touched by Winchester. Now some discussion, and apparently that is going to stand, and it'll be Northwestern's basketball.
Yeah, it was tipped. That took the official from the half-court line to see it.
Maggard will toss it in. Finds his teammate Mark Alexander, who penetrates, gets inside for a nice shot.
Alexander hit that big 3, and now his confidence is up. He's ready to go.
They lob it in and almost threw it away, but it's saved by Tyler Cook. Cook stops outside right at the elbow and misses the shot. The putback is off the mark, out of bounds, and last touch by Winchester. So Northwestern gets the basketball.
Northwestern getting more into the flow of the game now. They're really fighting hard. They're playing hard. And they're going to claw back in this game, I get the feeling. It's just 7 points now.
7-0 run right now, as they've got that lead down to 25-18. Oh, nice pass on the baseline to no avail. And the putback is off the mark, but the foul is going to be called against Clayton Briggs.
Boy, that's how quickly the tempo can change. The momentum now, it's to Northwestern. They're the ones making things happen. Good pass by Sanders. somehow got that play through there. Then he's there for the rebound and gets fouled from behind.
Sanders, pretty good sized young man, 6'6", junior, played in 26 games, averaging right around 15.5 points and 10.5 rebounds, averages a double-double.
He has a brother on this team too, Zach. He's 6'3", a sophomore. We haven't seen him in the game yet. So they could be a force for the next few years there at Northwestern.
So here comes a trio of substitutions back in again for Winchester. One of whom is Lucas Wickersham, who has a couple of points. 6.5 minutes to go, first half. Second free throw by Sanders, good again.
First minute and a half now, 9 points already for Northwestern. So what they really struggled is got 11 in the first quarter. They've got 9 more here in just the last minute and a half.
Winchester getting its hands full with that full court pressure. They had triple teamed them across the timeline. That leaves somebody open. They had the open guy. Now the loose ball picked up and they threw it away. That time it was in the hands of Wickersham, and he tried to get it right back to Thad Loudenbacher, and when he did, he just couldn't hang on to it.
And now Winchester's the team that's moving a little out of control, moving too fast a pace, and the player not ready for that pass. It goes out of bounds.
7 turnover against the Golden Falcons. 6:10 to go here in the first half. 25-20 in favor of Winchester. Your team wearing the white uniforms. Long range three is off the mark. Tipped away, picked up underneath by the purple clad. Offensive foul. Wipe off the bucket. They had it in the hands that time of Taylor Richardson. And I'm guessing that's where the foul will go as he went right to the hoop.
Yeah, Andy Stover held his position. Watch him here, number 50. He just sits right there, and there's the contact by Richardson. He picks up the foul.
Well, up and down basketball. Not many set plays being run right now. Here's the inbounds pass, and before they can get it in, there's a whistle from the official that was completely up court. And they called it on Josh Maggard.
Yeah, Winchester, when they have trouble getting the ball in bounds, they just throw a lob pass to Cook at 6'4". Josh Maggard was on him at 5'10", so Cook's got the advantage, and Maggard fouled him trying to prevent the pass from getting in.
So 34. Tyler Cook will go to the free throw line where he is 2 out of 3. They're in the 1 and bonus. This one is good. Interesting to note that during the regular season, Winchester averaged 66 points a game last, and when it became tournament time, they kicked it up to 71 points a game. So they were better scorers in the tournament than they have been during the regular season.
Always good when a coach sees that. And this style of play, Jerry, when you're playing teams for the first time, they don't know the style you play. Kind of like Northwestern got a little shocked when this game started. That's what happens in the tournament.
Taylor Richardson with his first field goal of the game, right side baseline, and that'll chop it down to a 4-point game at 26-22. And a scramble, and I believe they're going to hit Tyler Cook with his second personal foul as he lost control of the basketball momentarily. And that'll be number 2 on Cook.
Yeah, that lob pass went out to half court, and that makes it tough. Good job there by Alexander. He deflected that ball, and there Cook pushes off to try to regain possession.
That's a dangerous way to get the ball in bounds, is it not, lads?
When you throw it that far, if they're going to throw that past 15 or 20 feet, not so bad. But when you throw it to half court, absolutely right, Jerry. Now that's his second foul. He's come out of the ball game. Still 5.5 minutes to go in this second quarter.
So what looked to be a blowout early on with a 13-point lead, now with an 11-1 run in favor of Northwestern, they have gotten themselves right back into the ball game. Rebound by Brock Morrison, who averages just under 4 per game. Bounce pass down inside. This is Stover, blocked away. And a foul is going to be called on Loudenbacher as he inadvertently, right in front of us here,
got poked in
Kyle
the eye.
Beachy.
Yeah, poked in the eye. You see it
No,
there.
check it. It's not Beachy, it's Richardson.
Here's the play. Look at the block by Sanders. Good fake. And Sanders waits till the ball leaves his hand, knocks it away, and then the slap to the eye. He's going to brush it off. He's okay. 24 is Richardson. You stay in the game.
5:11 to go in the first half. This Class 2A championship game. Once again, they gave Sanders all the room in the world he wanted. He wouldn't take the shot. Here's the baseline shot missing. Put back up once. Sanders going in to get it again. Follow-away shot's good.
See, without Cook in the lineup, it's harder for Winchester to rebound inside with the height of Northwestern. Sanders gets that rebound put back. It's a 2-point game.
Well, Northwestern's done a terrific job of getting back into this game. They were down 20-7. And the pressure, and here's the steal. They got a chance to take the lead or tie the game right here. They're going to tie it with Sanders. And then they may go to the line and get a chance to take the lead with Wickersham getting his first personal foul. Sanders with his third field goal of the quarter, 8 points in the quarter altogether, 10 total in the game.
Look at Maggard. He waits for Sanders to fill the lane and gets the layup and the foul. This Northwestern team, what a second quarter now. 15 points they've scored in 3.5 minutes.
Sanders is 2 out of 2 from the line. He's a 70% shooter on the season. And he misses the shot, but the rebound comes off into the hands of 32 Cameron Richardson. And another foul as they continue to wrestle for the ball. This time it'll go against Northwestern.
Boy, each rebound is a scrap.
It is.
As they go for the ball. This is terrific action in this 2A game.
I've got Richardson with 3 now. That's true. Yeah.
Sanders tries to make the steal. There's the push from behind.
Andrew Haney, a 5'10 starting guard, sophomore, will be at the line. 76% shooter. Not a big scorer, 4 points a game. About a half a rebound per contest.
You mentioned a lot of the same names for Northwestern, Jerry. They've got 3 sets of brothers on the team and 1 set of cousins.
Yep.
So this team, again, the family reunion, when these guys get together, there's a lot of basketball being played. 3 sets of brothers on 1 team.
Yeah, when you yell out, what?
Richardson,
Richardson.
Beachy,
Everybody comes around.
Sanders, yeah, there's 2 each of those.
At 4.5 minutes to go, the first half. Ball deflected away by Brock Morrison.
See, Winchester's still staying scrappy, even though they've fought this heck of a comeback by Northwestern. This game was a long way from being over. And I tell you, this is going to be that high scoring. How do you keep under control with the type of game that's going on is what we're going to see.
4:15 to play in the half. 28-26 in favor of Winchester. Northwestern in the dark purple uniforms with the basketball, driving down the lane. Kind of a wild shot by Maggard, and maybe an offensive foul on him.
2 players from Winchester went down, and that's going to be the call on Maggard. Offensive foul. Let's watch. He's left-handed, drives into the lane. Look, there's both Stover and Morrison waiting for him, and that was quite a wall he tried to go through. But Northwestern's back in the game. That's the key. They were getting blown out in the first quarter. They're right back in it.
Winchester again wearing the white uniforms. The Falcons, Golden Falcons, 22-4. And a pushing violation called against Northwestern.
Well, Northwestern's got to keep the pressure on, which they're doing, but now it's causing some foul trouble, and that puts Winchester at the line. There's Jim Gish, Northwestern coach.
Foul was on 52, Derek Alexander.
He's in his 3rd year now at Northwestern. Got his team in the state championship. I'll tell you, that's some great coaching to be able to come in. For 5 years he is with the freshmen, 4 years with the junior varsity, and then moved up to head coach. So he's had a long career at Northwestern and now knows these kids since they were young, and now is getting them ready for the state championship game.
7 points for Morrison. And 8. And we'll get a timeout. We'll take our break with 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in the first half. 30-26. Winchester leads Northwestern. Laz was talking about the Northwestern team. The Beachies are brothers. The Richardsons are brothers. The Sanders are brothers. And the Alexanders are first cousins.
There you go. And they are getting hot. Sanders and Alexander now 7 of 9 from the field. The rest of the team's 4 of 18. So they've had to carry the load while the other team is not shooting so well.
Nice basket that time coming by Mark Alexander for Northwestern. 7 points in the quarter, 10 of the game for him. And the foul's going to be on number 15. Check at 24, Andrew Haney.
Here's the drive by Alexander. Gets the shot. This is a very balanced scoring team by Northwestern. 4 players are in double figures, so they don't look for one guy. They just have a lot of good players on this team.
This is the free throw. It's not a particularly good free throw shooting team, Northwestern. They only shoot 65%. Winchester a little better, but not much, 71% from the line. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Class 2A championship game. They're going to have to call a timeout right in front of the Northwestern bench. They really had Brock Morrison tied up over there. He had nowhere to go, so they'll take the timeout. And it'll be a full 60-second timeout. So we'll take a break likewise here on the Indiana Cable Network. It's still Winchester out in front, but it's a good ball game at 30-28. Well, no matter what happens in this game, it's going to be history-making for one of these schools, because neither Winchester nor Northwestern has ever won a state championship last in any sport, so it's a big deal.
That will make it exciting. The problem Winchester's having right now is Cook picked up his second foul, and Coach Chip Mahaffey's kept him on the bench and may do that right through this second quarter, so he'll have 3 fouls available in that third and fourth quarter. So what that means is Winchester needs to hang on here the next 3:23, get this game to halftime still tied or close. So the advantage for Northwestern right now, they got to make some hay and get this lead.
Now let's see if Winchester wants to slow the game down a little bit with that foul situation. They go down to Brock Morrison in the corner, bring it back out, and it looks like Andrew Haney is going to be kind of the point guard of the situation, kind of run the offense.
Well, Northwestern's in a zone. They're in a half-court zone, 3-2, which really plays into Winchester's hands, because this is a chance they can run time off the clock.
He got it into Maggart. He didn't waste any time getting it back out to Haney again. That's Andrew Haney, standing almost in the IHSAA logo at center court here at Conseco. 2 minutes 45 seconds to go in the first half. Winchester with the basketball. They got a 2-point lead at 30-28. They had a 13-point margin at one time back at 20-7. And then Northwestern just really got on a roll. They're really eating a lot of the clock up. Obviously by command of head coach Chip Mahaffey in his 11th year at the school. Now he's just kind of standing and looking in that direction. And Northwestern's defense, they're just content right now, Laz, just to sag back in there and let them run the offense.
They haven't made the move to the basket. There's a turnover.
But it goes off the foot of one of the Northwestern players, so Winchester will get it back.
I don't know that Chip Mahaffey wants to be obvious, but I think you're right, Jerry. He wants to run that time off the clock, and if Northwestern doesn't come out of this zone, this might be the last possession of the quarter.
Let's see if we can find out more about that. Let's go to Todd Mello.
Thanks, Jerry. I was listening to Coach Mahaffey, and he was talking about he wants either threes or layups, in his words, from our scores. So let's watch and see what happens.
All right, good point. Inside 2 minutes now. Here comes one of those layups you were talking about, but it didn't go anywhere. And it'll be kicked away and still belong to Winchester.
Well, Brock Morrison shoots 39% from the line, and he'd be one of those to take that. He's shooting 75% in the tournament from 3 points. So watch number 44 for Winchester. He's the guy from the outside that Chip Mahaffey was talking about.
And this once again is Haney. He's the young man who was running the offense. Maggart is out there with him right now, but Maggart will post down inside. They got it inside, but was tipped away. That's the only thing wrong with trying to run a delay game. If you mess around so long that you give it up, then you've really wasted an effort.
That was 2 minutes they ran off the clock in that possession, though.
Now they got a chance to tie the ball game only for the second time. It was tied back at 6. Good looking shot inside that comes up short off the effort by Maggart. Northwestern hangs on, fires the 3, no good. Rebound on the floor, picked up by Haney again, the sophomore. Left wing, wide open look from Laudenbacher. Way off the mark, chased down, picked up by Northwestern. No numbers on the break, but a brilliant pass, still to no avail, and the putback is good.
Sanders came out of nowhere to get that ball, tip it back in.
Officially the third tie of the game, and we're at 30 right now.
Morrison missed it, not a bad shot inside.
35 seconds to go on the first half. Maggart again gets inside, offensive foul. And if that's on Josh, that'll be 3.
That's second time now he's tried to drive, third time drive the lane, and he's been caught on an offensive foul. Let's watch it now. Inside the same duo, it's Morrison and Stover come over, and that time Stover gets knocked down. Actually Morrison 44, and the foul. Now Cook comes back in. He's got 3 fouls. I think Chip Mahaffey wants him in to try to get the last basket of the half and not commit the foul. Let's see if that plan works.
Meanwhile, Northwestern puts Kirk Beachy, a 5'11 junior, in to replace Josh Maggart, who picked up that third foul. Now they're trapping right at the 10-second line, and a steal and a foul. I think it's on Haney. It is on Andrew.
He stepped right into a trap when he crossed that 10-second line. Very good defense by Northwestern. He should have pulled it back and got help from a teammate. So the best laid plans that time out. Watch him now. He drills right into a double team, picks the ball up. And then he was leaving his feet. That was no way that was going to work.
Richardson could give Northwestern its first lead of the game.
He does with that free throw. What a comeback after being down 23-11 at the end of the first quarter.
He got one of the two. The ball was tapped out of bounds, but off one of the purple-clad Northwestern Tigers. So Winchester will get it with just under 21 seconds to go. I would assume they'll play for the final shot. They've let themselves get out of this game after leading by 13. Now there's that trap right at the timeline.
Same defense. See how the pass to the side, though, helped break that?
Shot is off the mark by Koch and picked up by Northwestern. They've got 3 seconds. They've got 2. They're going to force the shot from midcourt, hit the backboard, and that'll be it. A terrific effort, Laz, by Northwestern, because they were basically in deep doo-doo when they were down by 20-7, a 13-point deficit, but they fought their way back into it.
They did 20 points in that second quarter, and they held Winchester just 7 points. So it's a 1-point game at the half. We're going to have a heck of a game this second half.
Yeah, we'll see what the coaches decide to do at halftime. This is where the coaching really gets important, how to settle your kids down and get back into the flow of game. Before we go to our halftime break, let's go once again to Todd Mello.
Thanks, Bake. I'm here with Jim Gish. And, Coach, we talked about before the game the state finals and the distractions that were in place. Do you think that was a result of the slow first quarter?
Oh, yeah, we were a little tight. Starting to loosen up the play some now.
How impressive was that second quarter run for you guys?
Oh, the kids did a nice job of doing what we asked them to do in the timeouts. They came out, executed some things, and it's going to be important that we keep up that same pressure for the next 16 minutes.
And how proud are you of Xavier in the first half? He's been all over the boards and very athletic.
Well, that's what Xavier does every game, day in and day out. It doesn't matter if it's down here or back home. That's what he's going to do.
All right, good luck, Coach, in your first state championship opportunity.
Thank you.
Jim Gish, third year at the school, at 59-13 record, won 82% of his games in those 3 years. Halftime, back in just a moment on the Indiana Cable Network. Okay, Bacon Laz again back at beautiful Conseco Fieldhouse, where the Northwestern Tigers, who look to be pretty much in trouble out of this game early on, have come back to take a halftime lead. Winchester led early because of a 17-4 run. Northwestern outscored Winchester 20-7 in the second, and then Northwestern led 20.8 seconds of the first half. That's all they had, Laz. Less than 30 seconds of lead time in the first half, but in the locker room they're up by 1. Let's go back and revisit your keys to the game. Some of your comments, your thoughts early on when we begin our telecast.
First quarter all Winchester, second quarter all Northwestern. Northwestern had to stop Kyler Cook. He got 11 in the first quarter, only 3 in the second quarter, and they've had 8 turnovers, so they need to do a better job on their turnovers. For Winchester, they couldn't stop Sanders as he's got 12 points, but Maggard is scoreless. They've done a wonderful job on Josh Maggard and score off the press. They haven't created that many turnover situations where they're able to score on the press.
Well, we'll take a break and come back. We've got more halftime activities for you. Pretty darn good basketball game for the 2A title. Northwestern up by 1. Bacon Laz now back at Conseco, 31-30 your score. Northwestern. Show you some first half highlights, and the early part of the highlight package, Laz, has got to be on Winchester's side because they led by as many as 13 in the first half of this game.
They did. They were shooting well from the outside. Here's Lautenbacher with a 3-point in the first quarter. And then nice cross-court pass. That's Morrison, really hot in the tournament from 3-point line. He had 2 in the first half. And then this is Tyler Cook, their leading scorer. Nice drive to the basket and finishes that play. Then the second quarter was Northwestern. They're going to take the ball to the hoop more. Cameron Richardson with that shot. And then Xavier Sanders finally got on track in that second quarter. Hit from the outside, hit from the inside. He had 10 points and 4 rebounds in the first half.
So we've had 5. They've had the big lead at 13, 1 lead change, and 3 ties in the first half of this game.
I'm here with Coach Mahaffey, and Coach, you got to be very pleased with the first half thus far.
Yeah, pretty much. If we'd have taken better shots in that second quarter, we would have been in great shape here. Thought our shot selection got a little bit shaky, and that's what we talked about at halftime.
Anything surprise you at all?
No, not at all. We knew number 3's penetration was huge. We got some charges taken on him. We've got a couple we didn't get called. So if we can keep rotating on that, and then we just got to get the rebound when they do shoot it.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. Club's heading back out to the court. That's set to begin the second half of this Class 2A championship game. If the second half lasts like first half, let's think about where you're at.
Well, both teams are back to full strength. Tyler Cook's in for Winchester. Northwestern's got their confidence back with a good second quarter. This is going to be a heck of a second half.
Now Winchester gets the ball to begin the second half. They're in the white uniforms. As we mentioned, they're located on the very eastern edge of the great state of Indiana, but still in the southern semi-state section. So that's the reason they got the white uniforms on. Here's the move inside. That's a good, strong body move by Brock Morrison. He's in double figures now.
He's a junior getting 10 points a ball game, usually an outside shooter, but able to take it in that time. Winchester's last basket in that first half, Jerry, was at the 7:34 mark of the second quarter. So
wow.
30 seconds in the quarter, they didn't score a basket the rest of the quarter.
Good grief. And yet still managed to stay in the game, although the game at one time seemed to be all theirs. There's Sanders. He appears to me, Laz, to be the kind of a guy at 6'6", a junior, who could take over the game.
He absolutely can. Playing inside, his second quarter was terrific. He's got his confidence.
Wide open look on the three, nothing doing. Nice rebound inside, given back out to Tyler Cook. Cook's got nowhere to go, so they'll set it right back into the hands of Andrew Haney. Looks to me like when you get in doubt, find Haney. Give the ball to him.
Stover could have taken that right back up. He didn't realize how open he was, but you're right. You get it to your point guard, let him set up. Here's Andrew Haney, just a 5'10" sophomore.
Nice pressure by Northwestern. Boy, they chase you everywhere.
Yeah, they're really going. This is a 2-3 zone, and they're double teaming out on the point.
Traveling violation. Good spin move by Morrison, but he walked with the basketball. All right, let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Saturn.
Now Winchester, even though they didn't score but that one field goal, still shot well. The turnovers hurt them. They had 11 turnovers and 9 offensive rebounds for Northwestern. That really kept them in the ball game when they struggled offensively.
Long rebound off into the hands of Tyler Cook. He averages about 5.5 rebounds a game. At the other end, off the mark, battle for it, double team. They got knocked out of bounds, but last touch they set that time by Daniel Maggard.
He got the nice rebound, but then on the double team, he couldn't get it to a teammate and threw it out of bounds.
3 lead changes so far in the game. The rebound came right off into the hands that time of Kyle Beachy, and I think it kind of caught him off guard. He wasn't ready. Nice steal by Maggard, and then they throw it away, and the ball goes over to Winchester.
Boy, both teams having trouble holding possession there. That ball tipped off Sanders out of bounds to Winchester. It's almost like the start of the game, Jerry. They're both a little...
I was saying the same thing.
They're struggling here to start this third quarter. They've already played a half, though.
It's out of bounds and knocked off the leg of Brockford. I was just sitting here thinking, my goodness, this is like the opening minute of the first half rather than the second half.
Well, it is for the state championship.
Yeah.
I guess you can give a little leeway for that, but now they got to get going.
Well, they're trying to get the ball if they possibly can inside Sanders, and they're really working on him. Here's a foul. They got it inside to him, but a foul is going to be called against Winchester.
Yeah, Northwestern's definitely changed their plan to get that ball to Sanders every chance they get. Maggard's not driving the lane as much. He picked up those fouls, so they're trying to get Sanders to use his big size inside.
Fouls on Briggs. That'll be 2 on him. A miss on the inside that time, and Winchester comes back on the attack, and they waste no time getting the ball up court. Nice penetration that time. Now they dish it back out and set up the long-range 3. Saved in the corner. Nice play down there by Lucas Wickersham. Inside into the middle. Heavy traffic, and it's picked out of there by Northwestern.
Another turnover by Winchester. They've struggled with those turnovers.
You're wondering, Northwestern High School, by the way, is located in Kokomo, Indiana. Winchester, of course, I mentioned, far east edge of the state. 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. 33-32 in favor of the Tigers and Northwestern High. With the ball in uniform. Good strip job that time by Brock Morrison, who may have injured a hand. He's coming up court like one-handed. He's got the ball right now going into the corner. He was favoring his left hand. We'll see if that indeed is going to be a problem. In fact, he's holding it right now. Laz, he must have really hurt that thing.
Well, he blocked that shot falling down, which was a big break. It would have been a layup otherwise.
Now, he drove with the left hand, but he is really favoring that left hand. The foul is on the 21, Kyle Beachy, number 3 on him.
You see him looking, he's flexing that left wrist. It's got to be hurting him. He's a right-handed shooter. See how he does in this free. There's the official calling him over. See if he needs any medical care.
Brock Morrison, the 6'1 junior, just over 10 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 83% free throw shooter. Let's see if he can pick up this injury, Laz.
All right, here he is. He's going to be falling down. There he slaps the ball. Must have leaned back on that left hand to try to stop himself from falling, and that's where he hurt it, hitting the floor. Takes an awful deep knee bend on that free throw.
Got his own rebound on the miss, puts it back up and scores. Nice effort by Morrison to come off the line. He knew the shot was off the mark on the free throw. He was 2 out of 4 from the line. Oh, what a play at the other end. It won't follow for Kyle Beachy. And another whistle and another foul.
That's on Northwestern. Beachy picked that up. 21.
Oh boy. That'll be, if that's him, that's 4.
So he missed the layup, and then the frustration foul, very crucial as he has to sit out now.
4th foul on Kyle Beachy, who averages about 5 points a game, but still an integral part of this offense. Got the good roll, did he? The soft touch that time by Tyler Cook. Cook's first bucket in the second half. He had only 1 in the third. He has 13 points so far in the game. Wide open look right side. Richardson, nothing doing. Rebound taken down by Northwestern again.
Good job, Maggard, fighting for that offensive board.
Alexander missing. But Northwestern goes to get the offensive board. They'll bring it back out to Josh Maggard, the junior. He'll get it inside and draw the foul.
Well, Northwestern got 11 offensive rebounds in that first half, and that has made a huge difference. They got 2 more that time, and now have another possession.
Wickersham commits the personal foul. Number 2 on him with 3:49 to go. We'll take a break. Big battle for the 2A titles going on from Winchester and Northwestern. It's 36-33 in favor of the Golden Falcons. Well, this is just game number 2 of a 4-game day for Laz and me, and we're happy you could join us. We'll take a break after this game and then come back at 6 o'clock tonight with Plymouth and Evansville. Bossy Plymouth. Well, that memorable game way back, what, 100 years ago?
25 years.
Oh, it's only 25?
25 years.
I did that game, so I thought it was 100.
1982.
Oh, it was a terrific game. And then, of course, East Chicago Central, and we'll show you maybe the best player in the state of Indiana. Well, in that game, we'll show you 2 or 3 of the best players in the state of Indiana. Here's the shot off the mark. Foul is called. What are they looking at?
It's going to go on Winchester. Northwestern's trying to get the ball inside more and use some of their height, and it's working here. They've had trouble scoring, though. They got 2 points this quarter, and they missed their last 6 field goal attempts.
Foul was on Stover, by the way, number 1 on him. Northwestern at the line, a 65% free throw shooting team. We mentioned that. In the first half, Northwestern hit only 3 out of 6 from the free throw stripe, and Winchester hit 9 of 12.
Big advantage for Winchester. So Northwestern, they're struggling here in this third quarter, just like they did in the first quarter, trying to score some points.
Richardson gets 1 out of the 2. Now some pressure. And once again, Laz, there's that midcourt pass. It just scares the heck out of you when you see that thing coming. But it's obviously it's been in the game plan all year.
If it works, though, it's 6'4" Cook against the 5'10" Maggard. And that got Cook a shot down low.
Mark Alexander, the 6'1" senior, got wide open. Nice pick that time. He's got a dozen points, and we are tied at 36, and that's the 4th tie of the game. And keep in mind now that Winchester at one time was dominant in this game with a 13-point lead back in the first half. They were totally in control. And a foul. And they'll put this one on Mark Alexander, and that's 3 on him.
Okay, Northwestern, they like this style. They're full court pressing. They're pressuring all over the floor. It does lead to some fouls, but it'll cause some disruption. There's the play. Richardson comes over. Alexander comes over. And the push there on Maggart.
Just checking here, Laz. Maggart has 3. Alexander has 3. Mark Alexander. Kyle Beachy with 3. Cameron Richardson with 3 personal fouls. So they're getting in that danger zone.
Yes.
He found the open man outside. Cook. Well, they do a lot of skip passes.
They did cross the court there.
And they come right straight back outside to Cook, and he nails it.
He plays a lot of the point as he breaks the press. That's good to have him out there, but he stays out there open for a 3-point shot that time.
16 points now for Tyler, who averages just under 21 per game. Foul's going to be at the other end. It'll be on Cook. And now he's in a little bit of a danger zone. That'll be 3 on him.
All right, here's the play. Good pass out. Straight away 3-point shot. Tyler Cook kicks it, but then he commits the foul at the other end. He got to be careful. That's his 3rd now. And that's got Coach Chip Mahaffey wondering, should I take him out of the game or risk that 4th foul here still in the 3rd quarter?
Richardson, Cameron with the first free throw. That is good. Well, as we did with the girls championship, you go down the rosters of these teams, there's so many underclassmen that are playing, and not just playing, but playing important roles. A lot of sophomores, juniors, even a couple of freshmen toss in.
Absolutely. Here you see Cook's coming out. He's got to understand, you let that player make that 2-point basket, because if you pick up your 3rd foul and have to sit down, you're probably costing your team a lot more than just 1 basket.
Good pressure by Northwestern, and the Tigers have the ball back again with 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd, and they're down by a couple of points. Rebound hit the floor, picked up by the white-clad Winchester Golden Falcons. They get it off into the hands of Andrew Haney, and Haney will get it across the line. A wide open look left corner, Laudenbacher.
Boy, they look for guys cross-court very well for set-up threes, and Laudenbacher hits that one just when Winchester needed, when their big scorer Cook goes out of the game.
He has only 2 field goals, and they have both been 3-pointers. Here's a replay again from this pass.
All right, look at the pass. Andrew Haney, the 5'10 sophomore, gets across court. Laudenbacher hits the 3. He's a senior.
Less than 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Championship game of the 2A title. Oregon Davis won the first game, 63-52 over Bar Reeve.
Josh Maggart finally just a shake and bake move from the free throw line, and the left-hander gets that one to go.
First time he scored. Middle 43 to go. They get it back at the other end, and a 3-point field goal again.
Morrison, I'll tell you, the guy is so hot.
7 points in the quarter, last 15 of the game.
It's another one from deep.
And a traveling violation. Nice defensive pressure that time from Brock Morrison. Maggart tried to get around him. He skipped and jumped, and that's 11 turnovers now for Northwestern.
Well, that's what I had. They had 8 in the first half. Now 3 already in this quarter. Look at Morrison from the outside. Nails that 3, and then a turnover by Northwestern, all with Tyler Cook on the bench, Winchester's best player.
And a timeout, 32nd timeout taken by Northwestern. The troops will gather around head coach Jim Gish.
I saw Pat Rady at the Winchester practice. Pat Rady, longtime Indiana coach at Terre Haute South. He's now at Cloverdale. I said, Pat, what are you doing here? He said he used to coach at Winchester, and 3 of the dads, he coached 3 of the dads at Winchester whose boys now play for Winchester. Cook, Morrison, and Wickersham. He coached all their dads, and all 3 of those boys are now on the team in the game. And Winchester could have met Cloverdale in the semi-state, but Cloverdale got beat. That would have been quite interesting. But Pat Rady's here watching the sons of players that he coached back in Winchester. How about that?
Pat's been around. He's one of the top in the tiers of coaching winners in the state. He's among the leaders. Good guy, too, by the way.
Great guy.
All right, Todd, hang on, buddy. We'll get to you in a second here. A minute and a half to go now. Let's see how Winchester, they may want to slow this thing down again, Laz, as they did in the
I don't know if they know that style, Jerry. I think they know one way and they go. They've just thrown the ball out of bounds, though, right in front of the Winchester bench.
All right, let's go to Todd right now. Todd?
Thanks, Jerry. Coach Gish was telling his team that he wants to have fast break points. He wants to push the ball up the floor, and he said when we dish it inside, look for the guy open on the perimeter.
Well, they double teamed right in front of the Northwestern bench, and they had to call another timeout. One of the things that impressed me, Laz, not just in this game, but that first game, you talk a lot about coaches always talking about, got to play defense, got to play defense. So far, the 4 teams we've seen playing pretty good defense.
Absolutely, and the trapping is what really gets you. They used the sideline there. It was right in front of the Northwestern bench, so Jim Gish could call that timeout. There's the fast break points, just 6 for each. And so Jim Gish is saying, let's not let them set up their defense. Let's get some fast break points that sometimes can play into a team like Winchester. They love to play that fast pace as well. So as the game started on a very fast pace, it slowed down the second quarter. Let's see if it picks up now in the third.
Jim Gish is a graduate of Carroll Flora High School and Ball State University. He is also, in addition to his coaching duties, the Northwestern Elementary School assistant principal. Third year, he's won 82% of his games in his 3 years, 59-13 mark. Jim Schlee, Blake Betzner, Brian Alexander, Scott Simmons, and Eric Grzgorski are the assistant coaches for Jim.
And just 3 seniors on this Northwestern team.
Pull up 3 from long range, off the mark, and a maybe a foul on the back that time because Morrison appeared to have it.
It is push from behind against
Richardson.
Against Richardson. Cameron Richardson picked up that foul.
4 on him. That's the 4th one on him.
11, Cameron Castle, the Northwestern lineup.
He's going to go to the bench. There he is. Not happy with that one. 4 points and 4 fouls.
Neither club in the free throw shooting bracket yet. 7 starting with the 7th foul.
See, Morrison kept his dribble that time and came back out to avoid the trap. Good job there.
Well, now good defense employed that time by Taylor Richardson, 6'1" junior off the bench.
Man-to-man defense by Northwestern with lots of pressure.
Trying to back his way in. This is Morrison. He got it off in the corner. And a good rebound inside. Actually, Morrison had the ball kind of knocked away from himself by Lucas Wickersham. And a foul. Trying to chase him down is Thad Laudenbacher. That'll be 3 on him.
See, Maggott really brought up quickly trying to get the fast break, but Winchester was back. Couldn't create anything, so he slowed it down.
So still not in the bonus scenario with 28.7 to go in the 3rd quarter. Thought for a moment that Mahaffey was trying to call a timeout, but that's just one of the signals he's been utilizing on the sideline over there. Inside 20 seconds. Northwestern will play for the final shot of the 3rd quarter. They're down by half a dozen at 45-39. Now we're inside 5 seconds. Pull-up shot just in front of the free throw line, and they've managed to work it well. Mark Alexander with 14. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. And this game is a long way from being over. After Winchester led by as many as 13, the game was tied at 36. We've had 4 ties in the 4th quarter coming up. The 2A championship is on the line. Winchester, Northwestern on the Indiana Cable Network. 8 more minutes to go to decide the 2A championship, and right now it's Winchester on top 45-41. Time to take a look at the Ball State hustle report. Laz?
Northwestern with the steals, 8 steals. That's surprising because Winchester's the full court pressing team, but Northwestern's done that job. Rebounds are about even, second chance points even.
So Northwestern will get the basketball to begin the 4th quarter. The starting unit is 8 of 21 from the field. The bench is 7 of 11. So they've got a nice job for Winchester from their bench players.
Here's a little switch. Let's see. It is a zone, 2-3 zone by Winchester at the half court.
Here's where they want to go. They got the ball inside to Castle, and he turned right around looking for Sanders. Castle had a pretty good looking shot himself. Sanders with 16 now. Out of bounds, and that's touched by Northwestern. 45-43, favor of Winchester, the team in white. They've got the ball right in front of us. Morrison's going to throw it in.
Cook had some trouble again with that ball. There's the slap. Looked like, unless it did. It hit. It may have hit Richardson when he was just out of bounds there.
Right down the lane, out front. The shot partially deflected from Buck Morrison. And again, when you get inside the painted area, you've got a lot of company. Driving layup and a blocking foul. Basket will count. Maggard, I was just getting ready to say, Laz, that Maggard, who averages over 16 points a game, that's only his second field goal, his 4th point of the game.
Let's watch it now. He's left-handed, so this is a little tougher for him coming from the right side. He gets the layup and now gets the call. Stover's called for moving. See, he moved that left foot when Maggard had already left the floor, and so that's a good call. That's a block.
Off the front of the rim, no good. Could not convert the three-point play. And they double right at the timeline, and they got troubles now, and it's going to be an over and back. Terrific defense that time as Tyler Cook just dribbled himself into no man's land.
Yeah,
because what you got, lads, is the sideline and the 10-second line as 2 more defenders.
Can't pick your dribble up there. He got himself in trouble. Good defense by Northwestern. That's the worst place to pick the ball up. Now he's falling backwards and tries to throw the pass that had been over and back irregardless.
19 turnovers now against Winchester. Very un-Winchester-like, I would think. Well, they're really doubling hard on Sanders. Now they've got him pushed clear out in the corner right in front of the Northwestern bench. Then they'll bring it back out with Maggard in command. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this ball game. 45-45 tie. A steal and a whistle. And a foul is going to be on Maggard.
He tried a crossover dribble, and Winchester got their hands in there with the steal. They were going to go all the way. Look at the good defense that time. And that was by Maggard, Daniel Maggard, not Maggard. 4th foul now on Josh Maggard for Northwestern. He's their point guard. They cannot afford to lose him.
And we'll see how they play it. Oh, wide open. Cook. Blocked, picked up, shot no good, foul called. And they are looking at Cameron Castle, but that's not where it's going to go. Mark Alexander will get hit with it, and that'll be 4 on him.
Well, I thought Cook was wide open too, but Sanders came out of nowhere, and then Andy Stover tried to go up with it, gets the foul.
Fouled in the act of shooting. He'll get 2. He misses the first one. Stover averages almost 8 points a game, Lance, but he's not been in the scorebook yet.
Well, he's just a 50% free throw shooter, 33 of 66 on the year. So he struggles from the line.
1 out of 2. His first points. And the lead goes 46-45. Winchester averaging 67 a game. Northwestern 69.5 per game. So it's a little lower scoring than what they were accustomed to. Part of that's because of turnovers, and part of that's because of great defensive pressure at both ends of the court.
Absolutely. Defense at both ends has been a key in this game.
Loose ball foul. And they got 3 or 4 guys they can choose from.
Well, there were 3 Winchester players there and just 1 Northwestern player, but that foul is going to go against Winchester.
On Maggard, that's 1 on him.
Cameron Castle at 6'3" was there in position, and Winchester had to foul him to avoid that rebound.
You know, it's getting difficult, Laz. First off, the officials give the numbers across from us. We kind of got to wait. But on every play, there's 2 or 3 bodies banging on whomever has the ball. It's kind of hard to discern who's going to get hit with the foul. Missed free throw that time by Castle.
6 minutes to go in a state championship game. These kids are going to give all they can to see if they can get their team to the state championship.
As we pointed out, neither school has won a state title in any sport. Nice block inside that time by Castle. Winchester hangs on to the basketball. And a foul. And once again, a couple of bodies.
That was Cook again on the drive. He used that baseline. Kind of got caught a little behind the backboard, so he had to use that shot fake, try to get the shot away, and then a foul.
That foul is on Sanders. That'll be only his second. And at the line now is 6'3" sophomore Tyler Cook in 26 games, averaging 21 points and 5.5 boards. First time he's been to the line here in the second half. Here's the foul situation, Laz. We talked about this.
Well, Richardson, Maggard, Kyle Beachy, Alexander, all with 4. This could really play this last 5.5 minutes. Tyler Cook 78% from the line. He's the guy Winchester wants up there. The referees are going to wipe the ball off. It's a little wet. Cook tried to wipe it off on his jersey, probably made it wetter. And now they're getting a clean towel, a dry towel anyway, to keep that. He's only 4'6" today. And he sat out quite a bit, though. 17 points with foul trouble. He's been out of the ball game. He's smiling, so he must be relaxed.
Got them both. 18 for Tyler. He's the top scorer for Winchester. Brock Morrison has 15. A couple of players in double figures for Northwestern. Mark Alexander with 14 and Xavier Sanders with 16. 48-45. Winchester with the lead, and another foul will stop play. Don't seem to get any flow to the game. A lot of personal fouls.
Right. Northwestern's really trying to pound it inside now. And Winchester's making fouls, trying to prevent that ball from going in. But every time you do, it's free throws. That one on Morrison.
Yep, that's 2 on him.
Cameron Crossell to shoot 1+1.
Crossell at the line will nail the first one. He has only taken all season 10 free throw shots. He's hit 7 out of 10. He is now 1 for 2 today.
I think with the foul trouble, though, he's been called into the game, just getting 2.5 points a game.
Yep. It's strange. He's played 24 games and taken only 10 free throw shots. But as you point out, Laz, that rotation as they throw it away, that rotation just continues to run bodies in and out. And I have not seen as much of that from Winchester in the second half, Les.
Well, they haven't done the full court pressure either. Watch Haney leaves his feet. That's the first mistake. And then a wild pass to Morrison goes out of bounds. That's a bad turnover.
20th turnover of the game against Winchester. Now we're approaching the 5-minute mark. Winchester in the white uniform still out in front. Good defense. Well, they had an open man to Northwestern, and Winchester got down in the baseline area in a hurry. Pull-up shot out front, short. Put back up off the mark. Really bad shot that time. And out with it comes 34, Tyler Cook. Andrew Haney hit the ball to Andrew, then set up the offense. He's really being hounded by Josh Maggard.
Maggard can do that, I'll tell you. Good defensive player, good quick player.
Drive to the hoop that time by Morrison. And a foul call as he went hard to the hole.
Boy, this game may be coming down to free throws just like that 1A game did, Jerry. As the players are not hitting from the outside, fouls are prevalent, and free throws become most important.
I really like this Morrison kid, a 6'1 junior, Laz. He had a couple of threes in the first quarter. He had another one in the third. He's got 15 points, but I like the work ethic I'm seeing out of him.
Well, I do, and in fact, Winchester, Jerry, only has 2 seniors on their team. They only lose 15 points, so this Winchester team's going to be good next year. Both these teams are going to have a good shot to be back here next year.
Yeah. We may be able to save our score sheets.
Just change the year they graduate.
Yeah. 4.5 minutes to play. 49-46 in favor of Winchester. Trying to add one more, and they do. They go up 50-46. And just to give you a little replay, they led at the end of the first quarter 23-11 and appeared to be on their way to a rout. Led by 13 at one point, but to Northwestern's credit, they've come storming back. The three-point shot from outside by Mark Alexander.
Boy, the pressure defense by Winchester left Alexander open at the top of the key, and he nailed it.
17 points. Those are his first points here in the fourth period. Pull-up shot straight on out front by Cook. Nothing doing. Got his own board, put it back up, hit the far side of the rim, and it's no good, and chased down to the corner by Josh Maggard.
2 good shots by Cook. The guy you want taking the shots, he just couldn't get him.
Boy, a nice job of going after the ball that time by Cook again at the other end. Wild shot, personal foul. And this is going to go against Richardson.
It's a good lead pass by Cook. And Haney saw nobody in front, just took it all the way in, risking that it would be a block call, and it was. So now Haney at the line. Here's the play. They're side by side. He knows that the defense doesn't have time to set. Can't get the shot, but he's at the line.
That foul was on Richardson. Andrew Haney at the line. 5'10 sophomore. Averaging less than 4 points, less than a rebound a game, but oh, the value you see in this young man.
76% free throw shooter. He's hit all of them tonight.
So we'll get a timeout with 3 minutes and 42 seconds to play. The fourth quarter with the 2A championship game on the line, and Winchester right now in command by 3, 52-49. We're back now, and not everybody is pumped about this game, lads.
Just couldn't make it. Just couldn't make it through the whole game.
Winchester head coach Chip Mahaffey, by the way, is going to finish his coursework this May and get his principal's license through Indiana Wesleyan University. Nice to see him continuing his education, as a matter of
Well,
fact.
his team's struggling. They haven't got a field goal yet in this fourth quarter, although they are 7 from 8 from the free throw line. So they're getting it done at the line, but they need some buckets.
3 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the fourth period. 52-49. Winchester in the lead on defense now against Northwestern. Still looking inside for Sanders. He'll take the outside shot instead and miss it. And it's saved by Winchester and thrown back in.
Good heady play. That was Morrison. He was going out of bounds, but threw it back in off a Northwestern player, so it'll be Winchester ball.
And Northwestern says, we're staying right here with you. And they're going to have to, because they're going to have to keep an eye on the clock now as well as everything else. This is Daniel Maggart. Outside they go to Haney. Well, they got a mismatch now. It's Sanders guarding Haney out there.
Now let's see if Winchester takes advantage of that. They're looking for Cook inside. He's being guarded by 6'1" Richardson.
Well, Winchester's in no hurry. We saw them in the first half. Just take it. What'd you say last 2 minutes? They held on to the basketball. Long range three, no good. Rebound yanked out by Sanders, who averages 10.5 per game.
Oh, that's a good shot by Cook. He just missed it, though.
8th rebound of the game for him. Bad shot taken by Maggard. Boy, he had a wide open look about 16 or 17 feet out and just rushed it, I guess.
Yeah, off the dribble, not in the pattern of the offense.
Let's go back over it again to Todd Mello. Todd?
Thanks, Jerry. That was the play that they set up in the last timeout, but Maggard could not connect, but he was telling him, I want you to touch the ball more.
That's not a bad idea. 2.5 minutes to go. And a foul came very close to a steal, did Mark Alexander, and that'll be 5 on him, according to my numbers.
Boy, that is a big play. If he could have snuck that ball away from Haney, that would have been an easy basket. Watch this. He sneaks up right there, but there you see the contact. Haney did a good job trying to protect the ball, and Alexander now be out with 17 points. Terrific game.
6 rebounds, Laz, and 4 steals to his credit.
Now he only averages 10 a game, so he came through big time in the final game.
Well, Northwestern coach Jim Gish will have a little time to make the decision. They lost 2 games this year by a total of 7 points, and one of those was in double overtime. Northwestern, they lost to Clinton Central and Lewis Cass, very good team at Cass. And they won the Howard County tournament by an average of 15.5 points. And you were talking earlier, Laz, about playing out of your classification. They beat 7 3A teams this year.
Now that's a sign of a good team when you get to do that.
Haney at the line is 4 for 4.
He's a guy averaging 4 points a game. Only took 56 shots all year. He's coming through big time here in a very big game.
Got them both, and he had 6 points. Everything he's had today has been from the free throw line. And as Laz pointed out, I don't remember him taking very many shots at all in the game. This is where they're going to have to go right now. They've got to get the ball inside. The foul is going to be on Morrison. And they're going to have to go inside to Sanders and live and die with that.
Yeah, absolutely. He just got the ball, went right to the hoop, and got fouled. He's a 70% free throw shooter.
Laz, he's got 16 points. It's a little misleading because he got 10 of those in the second quarter.
Big one right there.
Xavier Sanders. He and his brother Zach on this squad. Substitutions. They have slowed down anyway. Clayton Briggs coming into the lineup, replacing Andy Stover. And just like the first game, free throws very important. Nice looking shot.
2 big ones there. That's key because it gives them a chance to set the press up. Here's Northwestern full court.
Boy, Northwestern comes after you. Now they got a little bit of an advantage on the break. Oh, beautiful block by Xavier Sanders. That's 3 block shots by Xavier in this game.
Boy, he took his time and avoided the foul.
Well, that 3 would have been big, but it fell out of there anyway. It's out of bounds. Belongs to Northwestern. They'll maintain possession of the basketball. From the 3-point area, Northwestern shoots 36%. That's not a bad number. Winchester shoots 37%, so they're pretty much equal in that category. Now Briggs is going back out. Stover coming back in. Here's that block shot.
Key play right there. Cook thought he could get that shot away, but Sanders blocked it.
Oh, beautiful block that time by Morrison. And the follow-up, a personal foul.
Northwestern's a little more aggressive on those rebounds now. It's paying off for them. Let's watch it now. The inbounds pass. Cook's going to pick that foul up, and it's going to send Richardson to the line. That's 4 now on Tyler Cook.
Cameron knocks home the first one. He has only 1 field goal. He's hit 3 out of 5 from the free throw line. And couldn't get the roll, but the rebound comes off into the hands of Taylor Richardson.
Yeah, nobody blocked out on the free throw shooter, and came back to him.
Less than 2 minutes to go in a 54-52 ball game. Pull-up shot to tie, off the mark. Nice position on the rebound that time. They had 2 guys down there. Stover came out with it, and Maggart was right down there with him. And they double out high. 1:40 to play. 2A championship on the line. They've got it inside to Morrison and taken away.
Good steal. Kyle Beachy in great position because a layup was going to happen if he didn't steal that ball.
Now here comes Josh Maggard, the 5'10 junior, who has an average of 7.9 assists per game, and they're going to take a timeout. Northwestern, this could be a very vital possession for them. It is a full timeout. Here's a look at that steal again.
All right, watch it inside. Morrison sees his teammate, flips the ball to him. Beachy steps right in, steals the ball, goes the other way. That would have made a 4-point lead with 1.5 minutes to go. That's a huge defensive play.
All right, let's reset things for you. At the end of the first quarter, Winchester went out in front 23-11, but they were really pounded in the second quarter, outscored 20-7, and at halftime, Northwestern led 31-30. Through 3 quarters, Winchester worked its way back into the lead again, 45-41 after the third quarter, and now with 1:25 to go, it's Winchester 54, Northwestern 52.
It's going to be an exciting 1:25 to go, Jerry, that's for sure. It's going to be the team that keeps their composure the best, doesn't commit the bad turnover, just a wild pass, and there's going to be some pressure free throws are going to happen in this game here before it ends.
All right, after this game is finished, we'll show you the Chester Award winner and the presentations and things, and then we'll take a short break and come back tonight at 6 o'clock. Plymouth and Evansville Boise for the 3A championship. And then a game I think a lot of us have been looking forward to, East Chicago Central with Etwan Moore, who's going to Purdue against the North Central Panthers. And we all know about them, Les. We've seen them play 3 or 4 times this year, and there's something special. This may be a great matchup for the 4A championship. So, by the way, you can get tickets for tonight's game. $10 is all it's going to cost you to see both those games. You have them out here at Conseco Fieldhouse box office. So if you're sitting home watching and saying, hey, man, this is a lot of fun, we'd love to have you come on down tonight.
All right, let's see if they try to go to Sanders inside. That has worked the best for Northwestern. He's got the ball outside now, though.
Northwestern with the basketball down by a deuce. 1:15 to play in this fourth quarter.
Now Sanders is down on the block. He's motioning. He wants the ball. And Andy Stover's trying to prevent him from getting inside. They may let him take that outside shot. They don't want him to post up inside, though.
Silver backed up probably, 7 or 8 feet from him on that play. Wide open look on the near side. Richardson. Nothing doing. Rebound saved. Oh, good play that time by Tyler Cook, who got it inside to Brock Morrison. Oh, a bucket here, lads, would be so big. And they threw it away. A turnover again by Winchester.
It is. You're right, Jerry. There's the silly turnover. Cook had the ball 5 feet from the basket. He needed to stop and take that shot. You don't pass off in that situation. No way for Stover to come up with that ball. Now, same situation. Northwestern needs a basket. They're down 2.
22 turnovers for Northwestern. Maggard, good job of getting in the painted area, makes the fake and draws the foul. Is going to go to the line for 2 shots.
That's what a heady point guard can do. He draws his own foul there. Look how he shot faked, got Winchester in the air, and then he gets the shot. Didn't go, but he's got 2 free throws coming.
Foul was on Daniel Maggard, his 2nd personal foul. And we got another timeout, a full timeout, as both the coaches want to talk things over here with 34.5 seconds remaining. It's been a terrific basketball game, much like we expected. Northwestern last year was 18-4. They lost in the sectional to Oak Hill 57-56 and finished up ranked 4th in the year. This is interesting. We're talking about Jim Gish, the head coach, Laz. 69-45 in his 3rd year at the school, winning percentage of 60.5. In the 2 years prior to his arrival, the school went 10-32. So he turned the program around big time.
We've seen that a lot with these teams here in the state finals today already, where a coach comes in, brings a new style, starts to work with those younger players, gets them ready, and they make a dream come true by getting to the state championship game.
And I think I forgot which coach it was now said when Todd asked him why, he said they bought into the program, and that's, to me, that's everything.
That's key. You know, you're going to get a certain amount of good players, so mentally you've got to get those guys ready to play better than they think they can, and when you get 6 or 7 guys doing that, you've got great teams. All right, 34 seconds to go. Winchester's up by 2 points, but Northwestern has 2 free throws. So a couple key things here. We'll see how these free throws go. And then if a missed free throw, who gets that rebound? And then you got to look for Northwestern, try to foul to put Winchester at the line to see how they can do at the free throw line.
Well, let's see. Maggard is a 72% free throw shooter. He is 0 for 1 from the line tonight. This afternoon, he has 2 coming, and these are the biggest of his career. He'll get another.
He was leaning back. You got to lean forward on these shots, get momentum going toward that basket.
If you look at him, Les, he's about a foot behind the line anyway. Good shot that time.
Got the second one, so now it's a 1-point game, full court press. Try to steal, and then you got to try to foul.
And they did it in a hurry. And the foul's going to be on Taylor Richardson. That was the 4th on him.
Winchester gets it to Tyler Cook, their best player, best free throw shooter. Now he's at the line.
Cook has 16, making 18 points. Laz, do you realize Winchester still doesn't have a field goal in the 4th quarter?
You know, that's an amazing stat that they haven't scored a basket yet, and all their points have come from the line.
Another timeout with 33 seconds to go. Reminder again, following this game, all the post-game hullabaloo with trophies, medallions, medal attitude award, and a break. We're back at it at 6 o'clock tonight with 3A followed by the 4A championship game.
Yeah, 9 free throws for Winchester in this 4th quarter. They've only missed 3 now as Cook missed that one. And but no field goal.
In fact, they've only got 6 field goals in the entire second half. Graphically, here's what's going to happen tonight with Plymouth and Evansville Bossy. Shades of Scott Skiles and Phil Wendell. Phil was in town Wednesday night.
He was here, the Trester Award winner from 1982. He lives in Atlanta now. I got a chance to visit with him, and he came to the Plymouth practice with some of the other players. The 25-year team was honored Wednesday night at the state championship, or at the Hall of Fame banquet. So some of those guys will be here for that game tonight.
And then Chicago Central and North Central of Indianapolis. If you've not seen Eric Gordon for some reason this year, I'm sure you've read about him. You're in for a treat. And Etwan Moore is one whale of a player likewise for East Chicago. Big free throw right here. And he missed it. Josh Maggard. Boy, he went coast to coast. And all of a sudden, it's a 55-54 ball game. It's a 6 lead change of the game. And Northwestern has the lead. And they'll take a timeout. Will Winchester.
Boy, Josh Maggard made the play there. As Cook missed both free throws, Maggard just took it on himself to make the drive all the way. Now watch how he leans to his right to avoid the charge, and then the left hand, that's his strong hand. He makes a great play, leans to the right because Stover's waiting for the charge and gets that one to drop. What a play.
That is something. This is Maggard, the same young man who missed a couple of free throws early on. Timeout situation, in case you're wondering. Northwestern has one. Winchester is out of timeouts. In this quarter, Winchester is 0 for 6 from the field. So, Laz, it's not like they haven't scored many. They haven't taken many shots this quarter.
They haven't. They've been getting fouled. And the turnovers, Jory, they got 20 turnovers, just killing them because they're not able to get the shots.
All right, now we're going to see where the coaching comes into play. Winchester has 18.2 seconds remaining. They'll have the basketball about three-quarter court. They are down 55-54. Laz, what do? You can't spend a lot of time, but you can't rush yourself either in this situation.
Well, Northwestern's going to press, so you got to know that it's going to be difficult. They may trap and try to confuse the Winchester team, but Winchester's got to get in their offense, look to Cook if they can, but take the first open shot, hopefully with 6 or 7 seconds to go to get a rebound in case it would miss. But then that would give Northwestern a chance to come back down. This is going to be a great 18 seconds.
Here we go, boys and girls. 55-54. Northwestern High School leads Winchester. The 2A title is on the line. Clock is winding down. They go inside, back off in the corner, come back out, swinging around the perimeter. Great defense by Northwestern, trying to back it inside, and a traveling violation. Just outstanding defense that time, mainly by Taylor Richardson.
It was Richardson and Maggard. They put the double team on Cook. He nearly got a jump ball, but the travel was called. Let's watch it now. He's trying to get a shot, going to his left. There's Maggard. It might have been the jump ball, but he had to move his feet to keep control of it. Now, Winchester's got a foul right away.
And they do. The foul will be against Clayton Briggs. That'll be 3 on him. Northwestern has never led in this game by more than 1 point. And that 1 point is pretty big right now.
It's a great time to take the lead with under 30 seconds to go. But Sanders now is the guy on the block. He's a 70% free throw shooter. 2 would give him a 3-point lead. 5 seconds, still time for Winchester to inbound the ball and get it down the floor for a shot.
Xavier Sanders is 4 out of 5 from the stripe so far in this game tonight. He has 18 points and 8 rebounds. And the officials are conferring, and I'm not real sure what about, unless they're trying to make absolutely sure that it's Sanders who should be at the line. And indeed, that's the case. That was an easy call. As I say, 4 out of 5. He has 18 points in the game and 8 rebounds. Here are some big ones for the junior. And as Laz pointed out, even if he makes this, it's a 1-possession game.
Very calm there. He just nailed that one in.
All right, they've taken Loudenbacher out of the game. Haney comes back into the lineup. You would think it would be Tyler Cook to whom you would want to go for the final shot.
Well, if he's open, but it may have to be a 3-point shot.
Nailed them both. Big free throws by Xavier Sanders. 5 seconds. 4, 3. They're going to force the 3-point shot, and he hit it. Tyler Cook takes the 3 and ties the ball game.
And they're going to count that one. It's going to go to overtime, Jerry.
Oh my goodness.
He missed 2 free throws with under 20 seconds to go, and he comes right back, dribbles with 5 seconds, takes a shot from the top of the key to send the game to overtime. That's just a sophomore play by Tyler Cook. Look at the Winchester fans.
Unbelievable. We said they would go to Cook. Here it is again, Laz.
He has to go behind the back. He's got 4 players around him. He stops, 1 second to go, and nails it. Look at him. He's the happiest man in Conseco Fieldhouse.
His second 3-pointer of the night. That gives him 52 on the year. Now, Terry quickly hands me this note. Northwestern in overtime this year is 2-1. They won at Mississinawa 74-70. They won at over Tipton 60-57. They lost a 2 overtime game to Clinton Central 74-72. Winchester's had but 1 overtime game this year, and that was the game of the semi-state last week when they beat Providence down at Southport 60-53. Overtime. at Conseco.
Look at that coach shaking his head. If you're going to make one field goal in the fourth quarter, why don't you make it at the buzzer to send the game to overtime? That's great coaching, isn't it, Jerry?
I'm telling you what, he's saying that's just the way I drew it up to throw that timeout. That is fantastic.
Wow,
stuff.
that is terrific. There's the overtime records Jerry just talked about. But I tell you, the momentum definitely with Winchester right now. They got new blood for this final 4 minutes of this ball game. We don't have a state champ at 2A yet.
Let's go quickly over to Todd Mello.
Coach, he was very intense with his players. He's like, if you have never wanted something in your life, you want this right now. We have persevered throughout the entire game. We've only scored one field goal in the entire fourth quarter. We've got to have it. The game is ours to win.
Okay, thank you, Todd. You know, the great thing, Les, when you're sitting here as you and I are as broadcasters and totally neutral, not caring who wins the game, it's so much fun just to sit back and watch these kids go after each other.
It is. Now, foul trouble becomes important. Remember, there's 3 Northwestern players. Each have 4 fouls, and Tyler Cook, the best player for Winchester, has 4 fouls. That will be a key in this 4-minute overtime session.
And Mark Alexander of Northwestern's already gone. He had 17 points in this ball game. Had a nice game, 17 points and 6 rebounds. Northwestern will get the ball here to start this overtime session. Here's where I'd be going. Sanders inside. Boy, that young man can play.
He made the 2 big free throws. His confidence is high. He got good extension on that shot to give Northwestern the lead.
22 points now for Sanders. His average was 15.5. Well, they got it inside again. Nice play.
Morrison on the drive on the baseline there. Cook helped him with a little screen. Winchester's gone back to a full court press now.
So we were tied at 57. Now we're tied at 59. They're going to call a foul, I believe, on Winchester.
It's going to go on Northwestern. That foul on Northwestern on the rebound, and that's Kyle Beachy, 21.
And that's 5 on him, Les.
So that's a big one. He's the first player to foul out. 3:16, but also puts Winchester at the line.
Beachy averaged 5 points a game, is gone with only 2 points.
He's in there for defensive purposes and just scoring about 5 points a game. He's had a good ball game, but now it's fouled out. You get a minute to substitute, and so Jim Gish taking advantage of this time with a mini timeout, if you will, not officially charged. Now he finally calls for a player to come in.
Well, he's got 2 guys he can't use. That's Alexander, and of course now with Beachy gone, so the roster gets a little thin for him.
Chance again at the free throw line for Winchester to score some points.
Kirk Beachy, number 5, is on the floor. 32 is Cameron Richardson. 3 is Josh Maggard. 34 is Xavier Sanders. All of these for Northwestern, of course. Cameron Richardson out there. Well, here's big free throws now for number 30, Daniel Maggard. He has not been to the line tonight.
63% on the year, 31 of 49, so he doesn't get to the line a lot.
He's a junior, 6'1", averaging 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, but his last one at 63% shooter. Got them both.
2 big ones there for his team. Getting the lead in overtime is important.
2-point lead, 61-59. Nice pressure by Winchester, and they make the steal. And they got the ball up court, all the way to the hoop uncontested, and he missed the gimme layup. Put back up and good goal by Brock Morrison.
Looked like Cook was trying to stuff that one, jam it in, and he couldn't get it done. Morrison, gee, saved the day by scoring for Winchester.
So they got a 4-point lead now at 63-59 with 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go, and a beautiful play inside by Xavier Sanders. He has both of the buckets for Northwestern in OT.
Boy, he's very smooth. Just got that ball, quick drop step, and strong move to the basket.
You get the feeling like if they aren't already, he's a kid they're going to be recruiting next year. Well, that's good defense by Northwestern. They just don't give you any breathing room at all. You got to constantly look for the open man. Shot no good. Sanders goes to get the rebound off the miss that time by Tyler Cook. It's 9 rebounds for Sanders in the game. Got a chance to tie. Maggard outside, got a chance to lead, and they do. Beautiful shot by Richardson.
Taylor Richardson hits that shot.
That's his first bucket last since the second quarter.
Well, that's a big one. He's the sixth man, usually comes off the bench. And now I'd say momentum Northwestern as they got down early in this overtime, and now they've got the lead.
A minute 48 to go. Overtime session. Timeout will be taken by Winchester.
Timeout, Winchester.
By the way, fans, we're going to take a break here and come back and pick up the action with a minute 48 to go in OT. It's 64-63 Northwestern. Here's a program reminder. Due to this game going overtime, the viewers on Comcast Local will not see Michigan Gymnastics. It will re-air on March 31st at 2:30. Well, Laz, here we go, buddy.
Key possession right here, and that's why Chip Mahaffey took that timeout. He needs to get that lead back. See what they've set up. Zone defense by Northwestern, 2-3 zone.
A minute 40 to go. Blocking foul called against Northwestern.
Winchester sets up Tyler Cook for that baseline drive. That's been a successful play for him, and he draws the foul. He's going with his left hand there, avoids the charge as he leans back, gets fouled from behind. He's at the line.
Third foul on Sanders. Bayview, there he is, 6'6" junior. Here's Tyler Cook, who hit that shot at the buzzer to send this game to OT. I'm talking about drama. It's 1 out of 2. It's only fitting, Laz, because you recall that he missed 2 free throws that would have been really big toward the end of that game in regulation time.
And then tied it with the buzzer shot in regulation.
Yeah, we're tied for the 8th time of the game, this time at 64. 7 lead changes so far in the contest. A minute 15 to play. Now let's see what Northwestern may decide to do. They're in no hurry. They're in command. Oh, a near steal outside. Here's the long-range 3. It's off the front of the rim. No good, and a good rebound that time. Great position by Tyler Cook. Now let's see what Winchester wants to do. They're going to go right to the holes, what they're going to do, and they're going to get the bucket this time from Brock Morrison.
Again, good screen on that baseline. Prevented Sanders from blocking the shot.
He has 6 points on 3 buckets in the OT period. Sanders pulling up from 10 feet. Rattles in, rattles out. Tipped up beautifully by Josh Maggard.
He got that left hand in there and timed it perfectly off the backboard. That's a big play to tie it up again.
Ninth tie of the game. That's 66. Now with 30 seconds remaining. Clock winds down. If you're Winchester, what do you want to do? You want to play for the final shot, take a chance on number 2 overtime?
Absolutely. You got to wait. He may even call a timeout with about 10 seconds to go.
They're going to try to keep the ball in the hands of Andrew Haney. Haney lost it, got inside, threw a prayer up and missed it. The rebound, though, is taken down by Winchester. It was taken down by Maggard, and a held ball and possession arrow gives the ball to Winchester.
Chip Mahaffey wanted that ball out at half court, but the players didn't see it. Let's watch now. This is Morrison. Good left-handed dribble. Good body control. Gets that one to go.
Winchester has no more timeouts.
And there's Sanders at the other end, just out. But look at Maggard stretch that left hand in there and got the key basket. Still tied now with 10 seconds to go.
No more timeouts for Winchester. They are finished. And what did we say? Northwestern's got a couple, and that could play big into their hands. Cameron Kossel going out of the lineup now with 10.6. We're tied at 66. Winchester will get it in, and there's that lob pass again. Boy, and there's a near steal out of bounds. Belongs to Northwestern.
Well, that's not the time to make that long pass.
Laz, we've talked about it the entire game.
Couldn't get the ball in bounds, and now Northwestern has time to set up their play for the game-winning shot.
Eric Alexander takes a timeout for Northwestern. Turnover. Oh, this is so big. They've been using this play the entire game, and it just scares you to death.
But usually it's been to Cook. Look at that, good hands there. That was a layup. That was the winning basket, but it was tipped out of bounds by Haney, and so Northwestern will get the ball.
Yeah, now let's see what we're going to do here. You've got 8.6. And you can't foul, Laz, because I mean, that's like giving them an opportunity. You got to play tight defense and hope you don't foul out of the buzzer.
Well, Winchester's a pressing team, so let's see if they don't pressure right on the out of bounds. Let's watch now from a different angle. Here's the near steal. And out of bounds to Northwestern.
Some of the fans were not pleased with the call on the sideline. And it looked like it might have gone off Northwestern. Hard to say from this angle over here. But nonetheless, Northwestern's got the basketball with 8.6 to go.
Well, the two keys for Northwestern now, you want to get the ball to Josh Maggard. If he can drive in the lane for a shot, they'll do that. But primarily looking for Sanders inside. They don't have a long time, though. They got to get him the ball in the block, have him turn and try to take a shot.
8 ties, 8 lead changes. Biggest lead for Winchester was 13. Northwestern has led by 3 points. And it's turnover again, picked up this time by Winchester, and they're not going to get the shot away, and it would have counted had it gone, but we're going to double overtime.
Wow. How do you like it?
Well, if you can stand it, stick around. Laz and I will catch our breath. We'll come back with overtime number 2. We're tied at 66 for the 2A title. Yeah, Laz and I are busy going through the record books. Laz, we've had a couple of other double overtime games.
We have. Back in 1982, Plymouth beat Gary Roosevelt in 2 overtimes. Scott Skiles hit a buzzer shot in regulation to send that game to overtime. And in 1996, Ben Davis beat New Albany 57-54 in 2 overtimes. This is the 3rd double overtime game in Indiana high school basketball championship history.
Well, once again, Northwestern will get the ball to begin the overtime session. We were tied at the end of the regulation at 57 all. Tied at the end of first overtime, 66 all.
Well, the other thing again, Jerry, there's still some players with 4 fouls out there. We lost Kyle Beachy in that first overtime. And now let's see how foul trouble affects this second overtime.
That foul's going to be on Andy Stover. That'll be the 3rd of the game on Stover. And once again, the free throws becoming so significant. Xavier Sanders at the line. He hit his first 2 tonight, then missed 1, has strung out 4 in a row since then. So he's 6 out of 7. Woefully short. Sanders had 4 of the 9 points in overtime for Northwestern.
As we saw on that last play in the first overtime, Jerry, I think Northwestern wanted to go to Maggard, but Winchester did a great job of pressuring that inbounds pass, caused a turnover, and Northwestern didn't get the shot, just like Winchester didn't when they had their last possession.
So it's Northwestern with the lead now at 67-66. Overtime, 5-minute sessions. 4-minute sessions, I'm sorry. And a near steal at the midcourt stripe. And a missed bobble that time by Taylor Cook, picked up by Northwestern.
Derek Alexander got his hand in there on Cook and caused that turnover.
Well, Josh Maggard has been very quiet. He did not score in the first half, had 2 points in the 3rd quarter, but came up with some big points, 5 of them in the 4th quarter, and some crucial points. Number 3 we're talking about for Northwestern. All the way to the hoop. The driving layup is good. Great play by Richardson. Cameron Richardson
just put his head down and went all the way to the basket.
Inside 3 minutes, second overtime, 69-66. And a near steal outside high. Morrison with the basketball. Really being pressured out there by Richardson. Will go inside, drop the ball off now. Will Tyler Cook. And a foul called against Northwestern.
All right, let's watch that last basket. He stop and go right there, and it got the defense to stand up. And then Richardson just took it right in there to finish it off. Good stop and go dribble there.
And Laz, that foul was on Xavier Sanders, and that was his 4th.
Well, he's another one we're going to have to watch.
Free throw good by Taylor Cook. Tyler Cook. The crowd has gotten quiet. It's almost like they don't know what's going on here.
Well, Winchester played 2 overtimes last Saturday, Jerry, down at Southport to beat Providence there, and now their 2nd consecutive double overtime game.
Cook with no free throws.
I've got 24 points in the books for Tyler Cook. And the score is 69-68 in favor of Northwestern in the dark uniforms with the basketball.
Northwestern can take their time. Trying to draw Winchester out. Trying to get...
They got it inside to the big guy. And the basket will count from Sanders. And the foul.
Now Maggart's got the job to bring the ball in the lane. There he does. Look, that pass was deflected, but a good heads-up play by Derek Alexander. Gets it to Sanders. Watch this play. That ball's deflected, but Alexander has it now and then knows who to get it to. Sanders. Chance for a three-point play.
Sanders has 9 points in overtime. Missed the free throw. Check it, make it 7 points in overtime. Would have had the 9 if he could get both those free throws. 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the second overtime session. 71-68 in favor of Northwestern. Long range look, too hard. Rebound, ripped out of there by Sanders. Averaging a double-double, 10.5 rebounds per game. He has a double-double tonight. 27 points and 11 boards now for Sanders. A minute 45 of the second overtime. Winchester fans thought there was a violation on the sideline, and very quickly Northwestern coach Jim Giss says, I'll take a timeout here. There's your score, 71-68 Northwestern. After trailing by 13, they got back into it, and we're in the second overtime, and we're going to stay right here. You stay with us also on the Indiana Cable Network. And you know the wheels are turning along the sideline, both at Northwestern and Winchester's bench. Let's see what Todd Mello can find out for us.
Thanks, Baker. I have the privilege of being down here in the listening in the huddles, and Jim Gish was telling his team no three-pointers, no three-pointers offensively, no three-pointers defensively, and on defense, crash to the ball. Come to the ball. Do not let them catch it deep.
A minute and 37 seconds remain in this ball game. Northwestern has the lead, and they have the basketball. It's 71-68. They have done a brilliant job of fighting their way back into a contest that early on they looked like they had no chance at all to win. And here's one of the reasons why. 34 Xavier Sanders with 27 points and 10 rebounds.
Good pattern outside. They're doing the three-man weave.
Well, it looked like a clean pickpocket by Andrew Haney, but the official right on top of the play will put the foul on Haney, and that'll be 4 on him.
Foul call number 24, Andrew.
All right, let's watch. Winchester's got a trap, and here they do right there. There's the trap. Reach in right there. And that call goes against Winchester.
Well, they're saying that's 5 on Haney. So now they'll use this minute to make the decision. Boy, I like the way Haney played. The numbers are not going to show you much, lads. He had only a half a dozen points in the game, but he was the quarterback for this club.
He was. And again, hadn't played a lot, just a sophomore, but he's gained a lot of experience for the rest of his high school career.
Had 5 assists to go along with a half a dozen points, and was perfect in 6 tries from the free throw line. What a game. Well, Les, I thought we'd get a break between games. We may as well just sit here and wait, huh?
Right into that next 3A game, huh? There's the arm lock on Northwestern. You see that in the college game a lot. So good luck.
Beachy missing, or check it, Richardson missing the first free throw. Taylor Richards, a 74% shooter from the stripe. Missed them both. And they call a held ball on the possession arrow. We'll give it to Winchester. A couple of big misses there by Richardson. And Laz, as I look at my score sheet, things have changed a little bit because how Winchester got there is amazing, with only 1 field goal in the 4th quarter of the game. And they still managed to, and that was the last shot of the quarter, the 3 by Taylor Cook.
Zone defense still by Northwestern.
Tyler Cook hit the monster. Here's the long-range three over the top of the board, out of bounds. It was taken by Tyler Cook, and all goes over down to Northwestern.
Cook's tried a couple of those now to get them tied up. He's missed both his threes here in double overtime.
So with just a tick under a minute to play here in this second overtime session. Now you got a decision to make, and they've made it. They're going to commit the foul in a hurry. Foul's going to be on Morrison. That'll be 4 on him.
Cameron Richardson, 56% free throw shooter on the year.
Tonight, Laz, he is 3 out of 6.
So he's about at his average.
Keep saying tonight. We've been in here forever. It seems like night. It's only the middle of the afternoon. 3 consecutive misses in overtime from the free throw line. Keep in mind, 1 free throw would make it a 2-possession game, so it's very important. 6'2" senior. Got the second one.
Look better on that one right through. You're right, Jerry. 2-possession game. Winchester's got to score quickly here.
It's the biggest lead of the game. 4 points for Northwestern. The biggest lead they've had in the entire afternoon. Lots of pressure and a foul call. And the foul's going to be on Richardson, and that'll be 5 on him. So he's gone. Cameron Richardson, or check it, Taylor Richardson, number 24. He will foul out of the game.
Well, he had good pressure here on Brock Ward. He picks up his ball there. Now he's leaning in, and right there commits the foul.
So he's gone, Laz, with 6 points and 8 rebounds. Once again, we're in double overtime. At the end of regulation, we were tied at 57. At the end of the first overtime, tied at 66. We're in the second overtime, and it's 72-68 in favor of Northwestern. And the Tigers will send Winchester to the free throw line, where everything becomes important right now. The guy at the line will be Brock Ward, who has not scored in the game. He's a 68% free throw shooter. Not seen a lot of playing time in this game, and a lot of pressure on this young 5'10" junior. He'll get 2.
Boy, that's tough. He's not there a lot, and he made that look pretty easy.
On them both. Well, you talk about scoring under pressure. Now they're going to take him out of the lineup, and they're going to put 22 Lucas Wickersham back in the game.
Well, the key with making that second free throw is you get to set up your full court pressure, and that's what Winchester's going to do.
Well, here it comes from everywhere. 44.4 remains in double overtime. They got advantage on the break, a 2-on-1. They come up on the near side. Sanders shot would have counted, I think, had it gone, but a foul is going to be called against Winchester.
Well, Winchester couldn't afford Sanders driving to the hoop, so they made that foul outside, and they'll put him at the line instead of letting him shoot a layup.
Andy Stover's 4th personal foul. They're going to send Sanders back to the line. He has missed 2 of his last 3 from the free throw stripe. Got this one to roll.
More substitutions by Winchester, anticipating how they can best set up some scoring opportunities.
I've got Sanders now with 28 points.
Great job, 8 of 11 from the line. Slow start, finishing strong.
Boy, dropped them both in beautifully. So we're down to the final 30 seconds, 74-70, 2-possession game. Got to go get what you can get. You don't need the 3. They're going to force the 3, miss the 3, and the rebound comes off of the near side. Nice hustle by Tyler Cook. He will miss the 3 there. Rebound battle fought for, comes off into the hands of Northwestern, and a foul on Winchester, and that may have been the big one.
Winchester got some good shots there, a couple 3-point shots that just wouldn't drop. And Northwestern scrapped for that rebound, knowing they're going to get fouled right away.
Third foul on Daniel Maggart. Now they're going to go to the line in the form of 52, Derek Alexander. Alexander has not been to the line. He's only taken 9 free throw shots all year long.
Nailed that one without any trouble.
4 out of 9 on the year. And at 75-70, that's the biggest lead of the game for Northwestern. He nailed them both. So a couple of youngsters who have not had much playing time have scored big in the free throw line area. Here's the long range 3 off the mark and a shove out, and he got by with it. Did Brock Morrison, and puts it back up and scores. Now Winchester took a timeout, and well, yeah, they will have someone in overtime. Yeah.
Northwestern player down on the floor. That's Derek Alexander.
Morrison now with 25 in the game. Hang with us. Second overtime is only 11.4 remaining. And Jerry Baker and John Laskowski and Todd Mello working double overtime tonight, this afternoon.
Wow, it's a great game.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Well, Northwestern is going to inbounds it, and they're going to have a 4-point lead, so Winchester will do its best to make the steal.
Oh, foul on Northwestern.
Oh, my.
Josh Maggart's going to get called for a push-off. And that's going to be 5 on Maggart. He's out.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And the key to that is, Laz, no time comes off the clock.
Free throws for Winchester.
So Maggart is gone.
All right, let's watch. Oh, right there. He bowled right into the Winchester player. That's a pretty easy call right there.
9 points for Josh. Good, hard-nosed young man who really, I thought, played a terrific game today.
Well, you know he wanted the ball on that possession. And again, 60 seconds for Jim Gish to replace him, so he calls his team over. But he just ran right into the Winchester player to pick up that foul.
He had 9 points and 6 assists. And again, you've got a minute to make that substitution, so the coaches wisely use that as a timeout. With 11.4, now comes some crucial free throws from Brock Morrison. Morrison is 4 for 6 on the line in this game. He has scored 8 points in overtime. Oh, how big is this?
83% on the year.
Now the key here is they've got it down to a 1-possession situation regardless, but Morrison will go at it again. Nice looking stroke and got the roll. Now we're going to get a substitution again. Back into the ball game, Lucas Wickersham. Out of the ball game goes Thad Laudenbacher. Now the defense becomes important again. This game has just been terrific to watch. And a foul quickly on the inbounds play. It was designed to go that way, and the foul's going to be on Morrison. Well, is it Morrison? Because if it is, I've got him for 5.
That was on Morrison. Not the guy you want making the foul.
Now they're saying 4 now. Okay.
Oh, it's 4th foul then.
Okay. That's what they're saying, yeah. So the free throws, lads, you talked about in the first game. Same thing true here in the second game.
56% is Cameron Richardson on the year.
Oh, looking good. 2 out of 3 in the second overtime session from the free throw line for Cameron. Now Wickersham goes back out of the ball game, and Laudenbacher comes back in. Laudenbacher's a pretty good 3-point shooter. He had 46 on the season, had 48 right now with 2 today. Got them both. Nice shots by Richardson. So now you've got yourself a 4-point game again, and time is running out. Brock Ward gets it across the line. Ward's going to force up a 3. He's going to miss it, and the ball is going to be taken down underneath by Morrison, and that's the ball game. What a game. What a terrific basketball game. Well, let's jump ahead here and get our Pizza Hut player of the game. Xavier Sanders, who was just terrific in this game, lads. He had 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 points in the 2 overtimes.
Got that basket and the foul. Good pass from Alexander. And look how happy the Northwestern kids are.
And that's the Pizza Hut favorite player and play of the game. Happiness all around for Jim Gish. All right, we're going to have to get out of here because of time commitments. In double overtime, Northwestern 78, Winchester 74. The first game of the afternoon, Oregon-Davis 63, Bar-Reeve 52. Laz, your thoughts on this terrific game?
How can it get any better? I'll tell you, a great 1A game. The 2A goes to double overtime. We still have 2 more games to go. Congratulations to Northwestern on their first state championship.
I'm looking, I've got Xavier Sanders for 29 points, 10 rebounds, 17 in the second half, 10 of 12 in the field, 9 of 12 from the line, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Terrific game for him. Well, our thanks to our crew, and Laz and I will lather up here again about 6 o'clock tonight. Todd Mello was also with us as part of our broadcast crew. Our thanks to all of the folks who make this possible. And we'll see you again tonight at 6 o'clock with the 3A championship game to be followed by the 4A title game here on the Indiana Cable Network.
In addition to the award, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the proud corporate partner of the IHSAA, will award a $1,000 scholarship to the winner's school. Since 1989, over $551,000 in college scholarships have been presented by the Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance to deserving high school students in our state. On behalf of the IHSAA, please join us in saying thank you to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance for its generous support of our student athletes. After we announce the name of the recipient, we invite his parents to join him on the arena floor. The recipient of this award, while a student in grade 12, was nominated by the principal and coach, excelled in mental attitude, athletic ability, scholarship, and leadership during the 4 years of high school. Participated as a state finalist in the sport and was selected by members of the IHSAA Executive Committee. The winner of the 2007 Arthur L. Tressler Mental Attitude Award for Class 2A basketball is Thad Laudenbacher of Winchester High School. And now Mr. Matt Smith of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance will present a check in the amount of $1,000 to Winchester High School. The money will be added in a general scholarship in the name of Thad Laudenbacher. Thank you again to Farm Bureau Insurance, and congratulations to Thad and Winchester High School.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make the presentation of the runner-up medals to 2007 Class 2A state runner-up, Winchester Golden Falcons. Making the presentation on behalf of the IHSAA, Mr. Phil Ford of Jay County High School, assisted by Herb Ressler of South Adams High School. Also assisting in the presentation, Student Advisory Committee members Sadie Brock of Pioneer and Stephen Bailey of Mooresville. Presenting first to Thad Laudenbacher, Andy Stover, Clayton Briggs, Bruce Cooley, Daniel Maggart, Brock Morrison, Brock Ward, Lucas Wickersham, Levi Cross, Austin Davis, Andrew Haney, Tyler Cook, assistant coach Rick Owens, assistant coach Steve Graff, superintendent Phil Ray, student manager DeAndre Chalfant, student manager Dana Cross, assistant coach Bobby Jones, your head coach Chip Mahaffey, Cliff Dragu, Steve Howell, athletic director, and Tom Osborne, principal. And now the presentation of the runner-up trophy. Presentation to be made by member of the IHSAA Executive Committee, Mr. Jeff Penrod of Columbia City High School. Your 2007 Class 2A state runner-up, Winchester Falcons. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of your championship medals to the 2007 Class 2A champion Northwestern Tigers. Making the presentation on behalf of the IHSAA, Nancy Osbald of Manchester High School, assisted by Phil Ford of Jay County. Presenting first to Josh Maggard. Kirk Beachy. Cameron Castle. Mark Alexander. Kyle Beachy. Taylor Richardson. Cameron Richardson. Xavier Sanders. Zach Sanders. Jimmy McKee. Alex Hillis. Derek Alexander. Manager Ashley Finley. Manager Andy Peer. Manager Annalisa Davis. Assistant coach Blake Bensner. Assistant coach Brian Alexander. Assistant coach Jim Schlee. And your head coach Jim Gish. Superintendent Ryan Snoddy. Athletic Director Dan Armstrong. And Principal Tim Etzel. And now the presentation of the championship trophy and game ball to your 2007 Class 2A state champion, Northwestern, presented by Deb Stevens of Caston High School. Here are the scoring totals on the ball game for Winchester. Andy Stover, 1 point. Daniel Maggart, 2 points. Brock Ward, 2 points. Clayton Briggs, 4 points. Andrew Haney, 6 points. Thad Laudenbacher, 8 points. Tyler Cook, 24 points. And Brock Morrison, 27 points. For Northwestern, Kyle Beachy, 2 points. Derek Alexander, 2 points. Cameron Kossel, 3 points. Taylor Richardson, 6 points. Josh Maggard, 9 points. Cameron Richardson, 10 points. Mark Alexander, 17 points. And Xavier Sanders, 29 points.